everyone. Eric here. It is Monday night. We're doing a special Nerdcast. This was going to be a fan appreciation stream, but I have been informed by so many people that because they're leaving to go to Comic-Con this week, they're not going to be available. So we'll see if we end up with enough people to do a game by the end of the stream. However, we were gifted today. We were gifted with the trailer for Avengers Doomsday, which I was not expecting. Now, I knew we would be getting it soon, but I thought it'd be like, you know, Comic-Con or something like that. But we got it today, so that's kind of exciting. We're going to watch that trailer. We are going to look at an interview with Kevin Feige. We have a Spider-Man interview with Tom Holland. We have a few things to talk about, a few things to look at. We'll see how long we go tonight. I don't really have a time limit tonight. So, you know, whenever I start to like run out of steam is when we'll end the stream. So I have no clue, you know, where we're going to go with that. It's weird on a Monday, to be honest. Jose, what's up? So no Tuesday stream. If there's enough stuff to talk about tomorrow, we will do a Tuesday stream. But remember, you guys, we're also doing a bonus stream this weekend as well. So we're doing tonight's stream. We might do tomorrow's stream. We're definitely doing a stream on Thursday. And then we're probably going to do a stream on Sunday. So we're doing bonus streams this week. So get ready for all of that. The Odyssey is crushing it at the box office. If you didn't watch my video today, by the way, do I sound like a robot right now? Because I recorded a video for today and I swear I sounded like T-Pain. Buy you a drink. Like, I swear I did. I couldn't get it fixed on StreamYard, so hopefully I got it fixed now, and I don't sound that way at this moment. But I'm afraid I might. Okay. But I did a video talking about, like, all the people out there who tried to ruin the Odyssey and failed miserably. Not only did they fail for opening weekend, but they failed spectacularly because it actually overperformed in global box office. I think they were looking at like 220 and it did like 260 something. So it was all for nothing. It really was just a waste of time on their part to do all of that, which we love to see it. So if you want to watch that video, it's on the AirrickDebunks channel. No video on the Reloaded channel today. Reloaded videos are going to be Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So we're going to add an extra video in the week on the Reloaded channel. So look for that. But I'm excited about tonight. I haven't watched the whole trailer yet. We're going to watch the trailer. We're going to go through it's at the slowest speed possible so that I don't miss anything. And take a look at all the little moments in there. There's a picture, there's like a poster with Doom that we're going to look at that was released as well. So that's exciting. So we got a few things to talk about and we'll see like where the night goes. I don't know who's going to show up again. So many people that I know are going to Comic-Con. I know Darren isn't, but Darren might not make it tonight. Joe has to work in the morning, so he might not make it tonight. Everybody is out of town. So it might just be us, guys. It might be us. Right here. Yes. When I said that in the video, I was like, what are they going to start hating on to hide the fact that the Odyssey is overperforming? And then the Avengers trailer drops. And it's like, oh, it was presented to them on a platter. Here you go. You can start flop watching Avengers Doomsday, which, by the way, I don't think it's going to flop either. There's a few movies that I don't think are going to flop this year. I don't think Spider-Man's going to flop. I don't think Dune is going to flop. And I don't think Doomsday is going to flop for the rest of the year. Is there anything I'm missing? I don't think Clayface is going to flop either. I would be very shocked if Clayface flops. Sorry, that was a tongue twister. What's up, Keyblade Master Jeffrey? Eagle's brother says we're okay with the solar stream. Cool. You guys know I do my my Copecast solo. And I've held down the Nerdcast for like an hour by myself, so it's not a big deal. We did get some super chats though. Kevin swinging in with a $4.99 super chat. Also, Kevin, I have to give a shout out to Kevin. Kevin does super thanks. Let me explain that quickly because a lot of people don't know you can do this. If you're watching a video, say for example, you can't make it to a stream or you're watching a video that somebody's uploaded, you can super thank someone in the comment section of that video and it shows up as a highlighted comment. It's just like a super chat, but it stays in the comment section. And Kevin utilizes that quite often. So thank you for the donation, Kevin, and thank you for the super thanks as well. I do appreciate it. Naruto here with a $5 super chat says, with a trailer coming out today, I think we're getting phases 7 and 8 reveals and X-Men casting announcements this weekend. It's really interesting. Should we start with the trailer or the Kevin Feige video? What would you guys rather start with? Because we have, we can start with either one of those, but I think we should do the trailer first and then the Kevin Feige interview, because the Kevin Feige interview has like 5 or 6 things to talk about in it. And I want to listen to every single one of those for sure. But Naruto, I think there is some teasers in the interview with Kevin Feige that we'll be able to talk about some of this. I will say this makes me very excited for the Marvel presentation on Saturday. It makes me very excited because, as I told you guys, on Sunday we're going to do an afternoon stream. So make sure you stop in for an Eric live stream on Sunday afternoon. We're going to talk about as much as we can from Comic-Con. So definitely do that. So I'm excited about that now because we know now we have the trailer. We have the actual synopsis of the movie. We have more information about it. And I will say the still images that I've seen, because I haven't seen the whole trailer yet. I watched like 30 seconds of it and I was like, no, I'm going to watch it with everybody tonight on the Nerdcast. But I knew that I'd probably be watching it alone here on stream, but not with you guys in the chat. And everybody's doing videos about this right now. So I thought, you know what? We're just going to do it live. I'm not going to record a reaction. Everybody else has. I've seen different varying reactions out there. Thank you for the super chats, guys, by the way. I've seen varying reactions out there about the trailer. I don't know if videos are getting claimed. So I'm not sure if people are claiming the videos or like if Disney is claiming, if Marvel's claiming it. I'm not totally sure. I did see up here in the corner. Okay, there we go. I want to make sure that was showing up. All right, very cool. I was like, wait, what is that? So they are claiming them. Okay, so we're going to watch the trailer. If you're watching this with us now, we're good. If you're watching this on playback, the trailer's probably not going to be here. Right? But we will continue to talk about it and we'll pause it so there'll be still images. But the actual trailer itself, we're going to watch it all the way through one time. And I'm going to try not to pause it. You guys know how I am. You guys know how I am. I like to pause stuff. We're going to try not to pause it and watch it all the way through one time. And then I will mute it, cut the speed down, and we'll watch it slowly. Okay? Just FYI. I'm going to try. I'm going to try to keep my finger off the pause button. All right. So here's the Doomsday trailer. I'm watching it. I put it on the production cam today because I knew for a fact that if we don't watch this on the production cam, it's going to be laggy. People are going to complain. So hopefully, and rightfully so, you should. I'm fucking stupid for watching it on the main computer. By the way, my computer is dying. This is not hyperbole. This is not me trying to sound sad. This computer, the one that I've been using for 10 years, is absolutely dying. It's getting to the point where it barely loads any of the software that I need to make videos. And the production computer is very old. So this one's even older, but this one, I'm not running cameras on it. So that's why I do trailers over here. So I've got to find a new computer. I've been looking online. I think I can get one for around $800. Yeah, Fetman Plays. This is exactly right. YouTube is killing my computer. So I'm hoping that I can get through this month I'd like to get through this month because I just went on vacation. So, yeah. Well, the thing I've noticed is that there are two different ones that I'm looking at that I think I can get for under $1,000. That's my goal. But computers are not cheap right now. Cody says the trailer is on Disney Plus too. Yeah. Yep. It's possible they'll suspend the stream. Was it because of they watched the trailer multiple times or they watched it one time? Because we're going to watch it one time and then we're just going to talk about it. I'm going to watch it no matter what. YouTube, just so you know, we're watching it no matter what. We're watching it regardless of what happens. I might have to restart the stream, but you know, the thing that really fucking sucks, and this is something that Disney and Marvel need to understand. Stop attacking channels for promoting your trailers. You do all this other fan shit. Why do you go after channels reacting to your fucking trailers? Because the next thing you know, Soups and all these other fuckers will be invited to Disney to react to it for Disney while everybody else is getting claimed. Which, by the way, before we even get into this, they don't have to worry about views because Disney, the Avengers Doomsday's first full trailer crossed 300 million views in 8 hours. It's the second fastest trailer in history to hit that milestone. All right. We're going to try it, fam. We're going to try it. We're going to watch the trailer. And let's hope the stream doesn't get stopped by YouTube. Let's hope that doesn't happen. One time straight through, and then we won't watch it again. How long is the trailer? 2 minutes? Give me 2 minutes and 20 seconds, YouTube. 2:20 is all I'm asking for.
Something's coming.
Incursion. I'm assuming.
Something we may not be able to deter.
Who's that talking?
Before this day is done, we shall be faced with an unthinkable decision.
Dude, looks good. I want to hit pause so badly, but I'm not.
I've fought with many warriors in my time.
New Avengers Tower.
They were far stronger.
Old Avengers.
Than all of us.
New Avengers.
Together.
Fantastic Four.
They died. They died facing enemies and threats that scared me far less.
Ooh, is that the expansion?
Than this one.
Oh, Gambit. No. Gambit doesn't stand a chance against Shang-Chi. Sorry. And I love Gambit. Loki.
If we do not stand together.
PBA Loki?
Put aside your petty squabbles.
Okay.
Presume nothing except this. If you return, you will return as brothers and sisters. Mark my words.
Oh, Thor is so back. Thor is so back, baby.
We're going to need a miracle. Hey, pal. It's not possible.
There we go. Steve is in the house. I'm going to pause there because that's the music. Is there anything after that? No. Okay. Good. Pause. Back to the beginning. All right. We're going to mute this And I'm going to set it to, let's go how slow can I go? Can I go that slow? Hold on. All right. Okay, we're going to stop there. All right, this is what we're going to do. Now, if something happens while we're watching these stills and YouTube takes the stream down, I will try and get back on YouTube. But if they stop me from streaming altogether, I will post on my community tab and I will be on Twitch because we're gonna do a stream tonight regardless of what happens. All right, so let's look what we got here. This is Xavier's school under attack by Sentinels, I presume. And we've seen this before. The school has been attacked and blown up before, so we know that. Man, this is slow. This is slow. I'm assuming, and we'll see as we get through the trailer, that Doom did this somehow. I'm gonna guess. Okay, here's the incursion. I'm assuming this is an incursion. That's what I'm assuming. Why did my TV stop? Oh, it's an ad. So I'm assuming this is an incursion. But is this before or after they fight? I'm assuming Sentinels. I'm assuming this is before. Calrose says it seems like Thor will be the leader. I think Thor is going to take the lead role for the for this particular thing. But I think each individual team will obviously have their team leaders. Kevin says, I was talking to myself in your other channel. My super chat is bugged. What? Hold on. Let's see here. Live chat. Oh, I see what you're saying. That is weird. That's very weird. But thank you for the super chat as well. I guess it's not showing up. Your text isn't showing up in super chats. That's a little weird, Kevin. Thank you for the super chats, though. I appreciate it. Hopefully you get that worked out. So strange. All right. What do we got here? Incursion happens. Man, this is really slow. Hopefully this doesn't trigger the system. I put it as slow as I could. Remy says, I'm surprised they didn't wait for Spider-Man for the trailer. I think that they wanted to have this out. They wanted to have this out before Comic-Con so they could talk about all of this at Comic-Con, which I guess that makes sense, I guess. So we all know I've had my issues with the casting of Doom. Particularly because I think they could have gone with somebody, I guess, more closely tied to the region that Doom is actually from. But I've explained that it makes sense from a financial perspective why they cast Robert Downey Jr. They want the money. They want people to come out and see it. And all of that aside, Doom looks really good to me. Like, this armor and the cape and all the pieces of it look really good to me. Now, where is this? I have a theory that Doom, maybe other people have had this theory too. I think Doom is going to probably seem like an ally at the beginning, and then he turns at some point. And I think that the battle against the X-Men is the turning point, or that's part of that turning point. Because I don't think this is the end of the movie. I don't think this is the end of the movie. I think that this is probably maybe in the end of the first or the second act of the film. If I had to like take a guess. Got the Marvel logo. Cal Roswell here is a member for 30 months. Thank you so much, Cal. Appreciate you being a channel member. If anybody else would like to sign up, you get perks and bonuses, early access, exclusive badges and emojis. Like I said, this week you'll be getting the new badges and emojis. Cameron with the $2 super chat says, Eric, I sent you a couple topics in Discord. Okay, cool. I'll check them out, Cameron. Like I said, tonight, it's going to be a very cool stream, like a chill stream. We'll see where everything goes. I appreciate it. Kevin says, I'm baffled at why these creators threw all their eggs in one bag. We had 4 months ago, and the Chuds are saying it looks terrible, going to fail. So for what? They will upload a video a week saying the same crap over and over. That's true. Absolutely true. Casual Viewer says, yeah, it seems it's going to make his plan to save the universes, then realize it's too late. It's very 2015 Secret Wars so far. The new Avengers Tower. I don't like this one. I mean, I'm not saying that it's a problem or it's not accurate or it's not a dumb criticism like that. I don't like the way it looks. All right, we got the Fantastic Four walking in with Thor. This looks like Fantastic Four tech to me. Right? I know it's blue and white, and you're like, well, Eric, it's because it's blue and white. Am I the only one that feels like this looks like their tech? Even the seats in the back have like that retro vibe to it. Very cool. It's really cool seeing Thor walking. Okay, so we have, this is, Bucky is, hold on. So we have Sam, we have Ant-Man, we have Winter Soldier on one side. Why is Bucky standing with them? I mean, he's closer with Sam, but... All right, here we go. This is a good shot of everybody here. All right, so let's pause here. All right, who do we got? We got the new Avengers. So we got fake Cap. We got real Cap. We got Red Guardian. We got Yelena, Ghost. Who's that on the other side of Ghost? Who is that? Is that Bucky? I guess that's Bucky on the other side of Ghost, right? We got the Fantastic Four. We got Ant-Man. We got Cap, Sam, and we have Thor. And Sentry. It looks like Sentry's over in the corner is Bob. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Cody, right? If the story is going to be that Doom is helping them out early on, and this is their first like meeting together, I'm going to assume that Doom would be here. So Doom is probably... Wait, he was with the Fantastic Four at the end of their movie. So I'm assuming that Doom is with them. So if you see over there, there's a weird empty space in between the Fantastic Four. So you got Thing and Johnny, and then you got Sue and Reed. There's an empty space. So I'm guessing if Doom is with them, that's where he would be. If that's the story, right? Is that fair? I don't know. I could just be talking shit. I have no idea. I am so happy to see Thor back as like a serious character. I've made it, there's no big secret that I was not a fan of Thor in Endgame, and I was not a fan of Thor in Love and Thunder. I was not a fan of that. I am a body positive person. So seeing depression reflected as overweight Thor always annoyed me. Maybe that's super woke. I don't know, but it always annoyed me. And I'm always like, why is Thor being portrayed this way? You know? Plus I felt like it sort of turned his character a bit goofy. I don't know. Just me. Eagle says you're saying Doom is a protagonist. I think Doom is tricking people. I think Doom is pretending to be a hero, and we're gonna find out that he's not. His name is Doom, by the way. So I mean, it's really hard to pull that off. Naruto with a $5 super chat. Have you seen the new Wolverine trailer? People are complaining because the picture makes it look Logan and Jean are or used to be a couple. Are you talking about the game trailer? If so, we watched it, I want to say last week. Look, I'm just happy the Wolverine trailer looks good. But the Jean and Wolverine thing, I don't think I saw that at all. Let me know if you're talking about that. Thank you for the $5. I appreciate it. Yeah, I don't know. I guess I didn't pay attention to that part. To be honest, it was the end of the stream and I was pretty tired. So we got Namor here in a very cool suit. I love this costume. And we are in there, I guess. Wait, in the trailer we saw, the teaser, they were in the desert or the water was around them or something. We got the Wakandans there, and M'Baku, Shuri, Dora Milaje. Looks like they're once again not happy with each other. Okay, what is that? Who is that a statue of? Who is that Magneto? I can't tell who that is. Who is that a statue of? Does anybody know yet? Huh. Oh, wait, you're saying that's a Sentinel? Is it just like an inactive Sentinel? So this is on the X-Men's Earth, whichever version we're getting of them. And this is Thor arriving with bodies and Sentinels everywhere. Oh, it's Latveria? So that's Doom. Oh my God, Thor looks so badass. I'm so glad to have this Thor back again. All right, so here we are in the X Mansion. Cyclops. Oh. It's not exactly the same, but it's really good. It's really good. Yeah, this suit is so good. Yeah, I miss the yellow trunks, Marisu. I do as well, but look, this is really close. And we might get the yellow trunks in the MCU rebooted X-Men, right? I think that would be really fucking cool. You said yellow trunks would look too campy? Maybe. All right, so we have Gambit versus Shang-Chi. Now, I see some people in the chat trying to argue with me about this, okay? Yes, Gambit is very skilled. And yes, Gambit is a great hand-to-hand fighter, and his powers... we're talking about the Gambit with the charge powers, not the new Sun Gambit where he's like Omega level. We're talking about, Gambit with his powers that we know from like X-Men 97. So he relies a lot on that. I still think that Shang-Chi would beat the fuck out of Gambit. I'm not saying Gambit wouldn't put up a good fight. Right? I'm not saying that. Gambit definitely would. And he might actually, if he gets a good blast in there somewhere, if he charges up the right thing, maybe. But if we're talking from the perspective of fighting, like hand-to-hand fighting, Shang-Chi's got him. Because, Sanju, there's no reality where it makes sense that Gambit would be as good of a fighter as Shang-Chi. That literally would make no sense in any reality. It just wouldn't. That's quite literally Shang-Chi's powers. That's quite literally why he's as good as he is. I mean, like you're saying, oh, Gambit, somebody who can fight okay in hand-to-hand, could fight literally one of the best martial arts fighters in Marvel Comics history, is really, really, really overstating how powerful Gambit's fighting skills are. I'm not saying that Gambit couldn't do something that could edge out the fight with his mutant abilities. But if we're talking fighting, just hand-to-hand fighting, no. I will not accept Gambit beating Shang-Chi in a straight-up hand-to-hand fight. Lone Wolf says, I just want to see rings and cards hitting each other. Me too. Me too. I don't even think it would be an endless tie. I think if Gambit tries to fight Shang-Chi with martial arts, Gambit will lose. And he's got the rings. Let's watch a little bit of this. So here we go. Slipping under there. I mean, it's a cool scene. I am totally going to be all in on this. What the fuck happened? Hold on. Why did it go out of full screen mode? All right. So like that. All right. There we go. The hell? I am totally on board with this. Like, I want to see this 100%. My issue here is, where has Shang-Chi been? You know what I mean? Like, we haven't seen this dude forever. I need this movie to, for lack of better terms, fill in some gaps for us on where people have been and what they've been doing. Because I thought about this earlier today when the trailer dropped. I'm like, we have Spider-Man coming out, right? That's going to help build in the hype level for Doomsday. 100%. Not disputing that at all. But we have a bunch of characters where we don't know what they've been doing. Shang-Chi is probably the one that we've had the least time with. Because if you think about it, Fantastic Four, we just had them. So they're not too far back in our minds. Like, we saw that. Same thing with Thunderbolt / New Avengers. We just had movies on them. Shuri, M'Baku, Wakanda, all the folks over there, they've been in and out of different properties for years now. Shang-Chi, a character that I love. I love this movie. The Shang-Chi movie is one of my favorite Marvel movies. Like, as a hero's journey story, one of my favorites. I want to see what he's been up to. And I want to see a little love for him as well. Just saying. Okay, so this is TVA shit with Loki. Now, this is really interesting to me. So we have Loki here, and he is not in his chair. He's not in his chair. How is he out and about? Hold on, run this back. How is he out and about? Doesn't he have to stay in the chair? I feel like, Will Monica Rambeau be in this film? Well, I feel like she should be, because she met the X-Men at the end of the Marvels, and I believe she was stopping, I'm guessing it was an incursion in the Marvels. Sorry for spoilers. So, we have someone dropping in. Omega has arrived.
Hey.
So welcome to this MCU stream. It's pretty much all the news we have today has tons of MCU stuff. So
Yeah, I saw that. I was watching that earlier this morning.
So you've watched the trailer already?
Yes.
All right, so we're just going through it slowly. We got through like the meetup of the characters.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're here with Loki and the TVA. Did you watch the Loki TV show at all?
Yeah, I saw all of that.
Oh, okay. All right, so I'm assuming, and Cody here said, well, Lone Wolf says, could it be another Loki? And Cody says, so this is prior to the finale. I don't know. I have no idea. But this is we have the two Lokis, right? We got the Loki that we knew from the main timeline that was shady as fuck, pretty much. And then we have this Loki from the TV show where he sort of redeemed himself and obviously tried to save the multiverse. So this is that Loki. So this is the TV Loki coming back into the fold. I'm assuming because the TVA is supposed to exist outside of time. So all the different Lokis from different worlds could have been able to come into the TVA or outside of time and branch timeline. So yeah. See what else we got here. Always good to see Loki. Happy to have him back. All right, here we are. This is when Wakanda's visiting the Atlanteans and Namor, and there's the ocean up around them, so we see that. And we saw, this was one of the teasers, right, that we had last Christmas or last December or whatever, where they showed like little bits where the Fantastic Four, and actually the funny thing is there's some people in the shot that, that's the new suit for Falcon. I'm just realizing that's the Joaquin's Falcon suit. I know they're not called Atlanteans. Yeah. I know they're not called Atlanteans in the MCU. I call them that because that's what they are in my
mind. We've been calling them Atlantis for 60 years from the comics. So yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. Any theories on who's pushing the water back? That I don't know. That's a good question.
Well, if you go back, go back a sec. Well, there's a thing.
Yes. You can see yourself out with that one. Ghost says Namor's doing it. That's interesting. Okay, so we have Yelena, Reed, and Herbie. Is that a new design? Wait, he looks different. He looks like the cartoon.
Herbie.
Hold on. Let me look up the cartoon one.
A little too intense.
I think that is the one from the cartoon, right? I mean, sort of. So, like, here's his eyes are a different color, but he's got the flat panel face here. Let me show you. So this is the one from the cartoon. Yeah. So he's got like the black face with the eyes in it. So it's kind of like that, but they're blue. Obviously, different for the film. But that is different. I did look it up. The Herbie from the other movie had the weird sort of like spindly wheel eyes that you have in the 1960s era. So anyway, let's continue.
Future technology.
Yelena. Wait, hold on. Where is this? Is this the Sanctum Saint? Is this Doctor Strange's Sanctum Sanctorum?
Yeah, I'm looking at the stained glass back there.
Or is it Latveria? This might be Latveria, right?
Yeah, it could possibly be Latveria. Latveria, whatever.
However you pronounce it, yeah. I see we got Sam in the back too. All right, Mystique. I see a lot of people complaining about how she looks. What do you think? Because we see her. It's a somewhat comic accurate costume, right? Like we have the blue with the white. What's up, Birdman?
Yeah,
good to see you, man.
Savior. Oh yeah, it could be the X Mansion, but I I don't have an issue with Mystique's look or anything like that. I just have an issue
Yeah.
with Mystique, period. Mainly
Like,
because she reminisced the awful Fox X-Men movies, and it's like she was the first.
well, I mean, you're gonna get her, you're gonna get Jennifer. It's one or the other that you're gonna get.
Yeah,
so.
it's like she was a soul. Not soul. She was like kind of like the center of that series for some odd reasons. Like, since when was Mystique the leader of fucking anything? But whatever.
Yeah, are you talking about like
Who
the
knows?
ones that the one? Well, I mean, the thing is, Jennifer became a huge star, and I think they just wanted to make her the lead of the movies.
Yeah, because that's mostly because of the actor. Which, but who knows?
Okay, so I see a lot of people. I see a lot of people complaining about like the overall like hair and stuff. I don't have an issue with it. I just don't care. Look, Mystique is almost never. Yeah, she almost never looks like herself anyway. One of the things I said about the Jennifer Lawrence era of Mystique, and I stand by this, the reason why, and this is completely not related to this, but I'm going to say it because we're talking about Mystique right now. The reason why she didn't change all the time is because she was a huge star. They wanted to use her as the lead, and Mystique is a character who almost always looks like someone else. So it made no sense for Jennifer Lawrence to be some fat dude working in an office or some bureaucrat somewhere, because that's what Mystique would be doing.
It's like, yeah, you paid for Jennifer Lawrence, so you're going to use Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
But that goes completely against the character, which is why I hated those movies.
Yeah. So Birdman here in the house. Thank you again for stopping in, Birdman. If you ever want to jump on, let me know, man. I'd love to have you on. I noticed the hair looks like this because it's mid-transformation. We paused it, so it looks bad out of context. Yeah. I'm like I said, it doesn't bother me. Like, I don't mind. I actually like that they tried to do a suit that looks like the comic suit, like the white and blue that we normally see. It looks a little bulky on her, but again, how much are we going to see of her? You know what I mean? Like right here in this scene, she turns into Yelena. So, and honestly, this is what Mystique does. So, I mean, like, that's her power.
Yeah, like, why y'all playing it?
So here we go. Yelena and Mystique fighting. Good to see Yelena back. I love her. Florence Pugh's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, by the way, also, I didn't realize this, but we're going to have her in this movie and Dune at the same time.
Yeah. Well, Princess Irulan really doesn't have that big a role in Children of Dune. Well, I forget the next Dune book. She is important, like in the beginning and here and there, but she may not be in it much. That's probably the whole thing. She may have like one big part, and then you kind of see her spread out here and there.
Yeah, but I just think it's funny to have two big, like she's got two big movies come out at the same time.
Oh yeah, around the same time, yeah.
Yeah. So we got Magneto and Professor X here. Somebody was making fun of how many times Patrick Stewart has died as Professor X. Did you see those memes? Like,
yeah,
it's like what his fourth or fifth time dying as Professor X now at this point. Which, to be fair, I mean, in the comics we see characters die over and over again. So I mean, that's not really a big deal. But I think also Patrick Stewart said he's retired from acting now. Like, this is probably going to be his last big role. So,
which, yeah, I get that.
You know what? I think if they nail this between these two guys, it's going to be probably one of the best goodbyes to like this era, because we talk about fan casting. Those two were fan casted for years. Especially Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, that's why like I said, I've always hated those freaking X-Men movies, but the casting, they pretty much had spot on.
Yeah.
For the most part.
Ant-Man, and is that Cassie? I know she was in the movie. I guess I did know she was in the movie. We got Johnny and probably Sue. Maybe. Sue looks so good right here. Look, all the fucking flop watching hateful channels out there that said that this person is ugly. Like, what are we talking about? Like,
I mean, that's not good. That's not a great shot of her, admittedly, but no, it's like.
But no, I mean, but she's beautiful. Like, what are we doing? Yeah. These guys, like, have they ever seen women before? I just don't understand.
Do you really want to answer to that question?
We got Shuri coming in as Black Panther. We got Sam in the house as Cap. Which, by the way, is that a new suit? Is that a new cap suit? It doesn't look new. Is it? It looks like the stealth suit that he wore in Brave New World. I keep getting Brave New World, Brand New Day confused. Like I want to say the opposite usually. Dalton says love the shot. Talking about Sue. Birdman says she's stunning. I agree. She looks fine, but she shouldn't be playing her.
Really?
I'm going to disagree with that. I think she did a really good job. I mean, you can have your own personal opinion. I just disagree. Right here we have Gambit jumping down to surprise Shang-Chi. Yeah, so who is this in the back? It looks like we have... Is that Reed off to the side? Wait, hold on. There's a couple people in the shot here. So he jumps down. We see Slam. There's people fighting in the back. I see, it looks like Reed or Johnny over here to the right. It's not the Thing, and it's not Sue. So it's either Reed or Johnny. Is that, who is that in the back? I can't tell who that is. Oh, that's Mystique. That's Mystique in the back. I had to blow it up and see. It's definitely her.
Yeah.
It's like fighting Yelena, I guess. All right, that makes sense. Got that there. That looks really cool. Fucking crazy. Sue. Namor. There's some sort of battle that's going to happen here. I don't know who it's... So I don't think they're fighting each other, right? They're not going to be fighting each other. So who are they fighting here? You there, Omega?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Kang. Wait, can you hear me?
Yeah. I think either I'm lagging or you're lagging. So hold on. Let me do this. I'm gonna jump out
I'm
very quick.
lagging because I'm kind of.
You're doing something else? Okay.
No, it's probably me. It was me that was lagging because I got working on some stuff here in the background. But yeah, it's
okay. Gotcha. All right, oh god, Thor looks so fucking good here. This is the shot that I saw the pictures of. It's coming down, and Doom denied. Denied. Wow. Look at the mask. Like you can see it really good here.
Yeah, the mask is good though. The mask is real good.
So fucking good. People saying bring back Fat Thor. I don't know. Do not bring back Fat Thor. I want to get a good shot of Doom's outfit, like the whole suit. When he's coming down here, you can kind of see it right there. That looks really fucking good. You can see the cape, the gold, I don't know what you call them, cape holders on his shoulder. I don't know what the term for them are. You got the hood on. Huh?
Yeah, it's a piece of armor called rondos. It's like basically just a circular piece of metal. They usually put on like the shoulders or like the hips or the knees.
Yeah. So Ashley says I got to read the leaks. I'm not going to read all of them. Ashley, God, the chat. Click on that one. I don't want to read all of them because I don't want to get spoiled. That's the problem.
When they're leaks, especially if they're early leaks, I'll read them and then like I'll kind of just keep them in the back of my mind until whatever comes out. And it'd be like, oh, hey, so they weren't lying. Or, yeah, this rumor was true. Yeah. Oh, yeah, or that rumor was bullshit. So, yeah, that's just fun for me.
So Renee says, I need the movie to tell me why he is this powerful. Like Thanos had the Infinity Gauntlet. What does Doom have? Me, magic, duh, read the comics. Doom don't need no special. No, I think one of the misconceptions about Doom that I think a lot of casual people don't understand is Doom is that bitch. Like, Doom is if you gave Tony Stark access to magic, which we saw a little bit of that in God, why am I blanking on this one? Ironheart. Sorry. The Ironheart show, where you get a little bit of access to that. Except Doom has had decades to perfect it. And Doom is also a character in Serenity. I'm not saying this to you because you clearly know. But Doom is a character that will take risk with magic because he doesn't care. There is no spell that Doom would not do. You know what I mean? Like, he will do whatever he needs to do. Also, at this point, he probably has access to Franklin. So once he gets access to Franklin, it's game over. Birdman says maybe it'll be explained, but Thor having short hair is interesting because he had long hair the last time we saw him. That is true. That is true. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I still kind of wish that we were going up against Kang instead, or like tying it all in, like with they did with X-Men '97. But
are we erasing like Love and Thunder? Is that going to happen?
Oh,
because this might not be the Thor. This might, because we don't know if Steve is Steve. We don't know if this is the same Thor. Like, when I say same Thor, I don't mean like from a different place, like a completely different dimension, but I mean like an earlier in time Thor, like one before certain events happened.
That'd be funny.
Maybe I'm reading too much into it. I probably am. The fan stuff is always more interesting. Ashley says they're replacing Molecule Man with Franklin. I think they're gonna pare down the story a lot. And yeah, I think Molecule Man, unfortunately, will probably not appear. I think it's just going to be Franklin. Just like with Civil War and everything else they've done, they're going to pull back on a lot of stuff. So there's that. It says in the Thor teaser they showed his daughter. That's right, they did. So no, it's not. So yeah, that's a good question, Birdman, about his hair. I don't know. I was trying to give an excuse for it, and my excuse was awful. So let's continue. God, this shot is so good. You know, this, and I've talked about this many, many times, and I bet you there's a lot of people that has similar experience. I think Infinity War is a better movie than Endgame. I've said this many, many times. I think Infinity War as a film is just better than Endgame. I think it's got a more satisfying start and finish to the movie. Whereas Endgame feels like a lot of different things kind of smashed into one. And I think Endgame is really good. But I think Infinity War is a better movie. And the moment where Thor returns in Wakanda, as Thanos and the Black Order are attacking, is probably one of the most hype scenes I've ever experienced in a movie theater.
Oh, yeah.
Like when he slams down and comes down, it's one of the scenes where the crowd went bonkers, and I don't think I've had that same vibe since that movie.
Yeah, a lot of times the movie, like right before its conclusion, is always better. Like, to me, Empire is better than Return of the Jedi. Because Empire, it ends on that cliffhanger. The Empire wins. And it's kind of like, okay, what do we do now? Then you gotta wait till the next movie, and like I said, for me, Empire is the better movie. Like with this, Infinity War is better than Endgame. They're both great movies, but it's just that climax in the middle is usually better than the ending.
I agree.
In
right,
most cases, not.
By the way, also, they were saying Robert Downey Jr.'s voice was the one we heard at the beginning. That's a weird accent. Like, it's just weird. Like, I know he's trying to sound more like a person from that part of the world. Like I get that, but it's a weird accent. Did you hear it when you watched it the first time?
I don't remember. Because I was kind of distracted when I was watching it, but and I was like on my phone doing stuff. So I was like,
right.
Kind of.
All right.
Wasn't really paying too much. I gotta go back and listen to it again.
God, Thor looks so fucking good. I'm wearing my Thor shirt tonight too.
I was never the biggest Thor fan.
Look, I'll be honest. I am probably a what you would call like a newer Thor fan. I've always been aware of Thor in the comics. Like read his comics back in the day. Obviously, the
Yeah.
Walt Simonson stuff is really good. But
I always thought he was
yeah, go
corny.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I always thought he was corny, but until I actually read Gore the God Killer, that's why I was like, oh, this is kind of raw. Okay, I apologize, Thor. I wasn't familiar with your game.
There's a lot of characters that until I saw them in live action, I didn't respect them, I guess, which is kind of how I felt. Because let's be honest, we've talked about this before. The Avengers prior to the MCU Avengers, I would say at best were C-list heroes. At worst, maybe D-list heroes.
I would say they were like B-list, but still, it's like
yeah. I mean, you could argue that, I guess, because they did have some really popular characters in there. Obviously, I think Hulk was probably the most popular Avenger, if we really want to nail it down. But they've had a lot of really cool runs. They've had a lot of different lineups. Obviously, there's the different ones that come from different parts of the country, the international ones, et cetera, et cetera. But I really fell in love with Thor because of the MCU. Like, I liked Thor from the cartoons, but I really liked Thor after the MCU. I think we got to see how this character would function in a pseudo-realistic way. Like, how would this character function in the real world with all the wackiness and the weirdness of Asgard and everything? And I think Chris did a great job with the character. I think that's another thing, is I think he really embodied the character. So for me, I've really started loving Thor and gone back and read a lot of Thor runs because of the MCU Thor. So, and I think there's a lot of people probably that watch these movies that find characters that they ignored in comics. I was an X-Men person. You know, I was an X-Men person.
Yeah, I was an X-Men fan.
That's what I read. So I didn't read everything. I was basically Spider-Man, X-Men, and then crossover stories, you know? I did read some of the early Fantastic Four, especially the stuff in the 90s. I read some of that weird shit with like the weird costume that Sue was wearing and everything. So I've read those stories. But I've really come to appreciate Thor a lot more. All right, let's see. This is like the big scene. This is the one that I kept seeing. I hadn't finished the trailer, but I kept seeing this one on social media. So this is Thor walking in with Stormbreaker and Mjolnir. The really cool Mjolnir that can separate and come back together.
Shatter one.
And we hear someone. And I have noticed people saying that the color in this is a little muted. Like it's a little scaled back.
Yeah, I've learned when it comes to Marvel movies trailers, don't believe them, because in the actual movie it's going to be completely changed. Well, that scene is going to be there, but so much is going to be changed.
And we've still got like almost 4 or 5 months before the movie comes out now. So all right, here we go. It has a tinge of green for Doom. True. That is true. Let's see here.
Just holds
it out. So this is supposed to signify to us that there is someone behind him back there in the back.
Yep, sure.
Somebody in the chat mentioned that. I don't know who that is. Any theories on who that is, guys?
I was going to say theories, but it's not the right build. I have no freaking clue.
Yeah, I don't know. So I think that this is supposed to signal to us that this is our Steve. Right? Because he's worthy. I've also heard people saying it's the Hydra Cap. I don't know about that. It could be. Look. Here's my thing.
If it was Hydra Cap, it wouldn't. Mjolnir wouldn't have went to him.
That's true. It's Gaia, whatever her name is from Secret Invasion. I can't remember how to say her name. I hope not. Let's see. Banner, Beast, Loki. Birdman says my chat said Peggy.
Yeah, might be.
Would Hydra Cap be worthy though? I don't know. See, I don't know what they're going to do here, right? And Superior Nav says they're not going to put Hydra Cap. Oh, maybe. I don't know. I feel like they could do anything with this character and I'd be okay with it because I feel like, you know. By the way, we're going to talk about, once we're done with this trailer, we're going to look at a couple other clips and some artwork. But one of the theories is that Steve going back in time is the beginning of this incursion, this whole thing. because him going back in time interferes with Doom's family.
Oh. Huh.
What do you think about that?
Strong possibility.
My phone is missing. Hold on for a second. I'm gonna go find my phone. Talk to the chat for a second, and I will be right back.
All right, chat. This is my stream now. So, how y'all liking X-Men 97? Let me go ahead and read chat here. Shut up, Chris.
Awkwardly, I'm like listening, and I'm like, damn, he's not saying anything. Just dead silence.
Reading chat. It's like
Anyway, but yeah, there's a theory that he goes back in time, and it actually that's what fucks up the timeline.
dang, better than House of Dragons. Okay, I'm watching both of them. That's going think about
Yeah, I heard you. But yeah, I heard what you're saying. I'm surprised that it's Cinema Omega. True. So there we go. Then we just have the end of it here. So essentially that's where it wraps up. I would say it's a really good trailer. Is it the most exciting Marvel trailer that I've ever seen? No, I think there's been better trailers than this. But I still feel like this is really just opening the door for Comic-Con and news that we're going to get at Comic-Con, and it's sort of getting this on people's minds. This trailer is going to air before Spider-Man, 100%. This is the early trailer they wanted to get out before Spider-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see here. I am ordering food, everyone. So I am ordering.
It's 12.
Yeah. It's Virginia Beach. There's 24-hour places here.
Yeah. Shoot, I'm in downtown Richmond. So you'd be surprised at how much there's not here. It's better stuff in the outskirts, but I'm in downtown Richmond, so it's like there's not much here, honestly.
Are you serious?
Yeah, you may be surprised. I look through like DoorDash or Uber Eats. I was like, wow, there's nothing downtown. What the hell?
Well, I just ordered pizza. So it could be here before the stream is over, guys. It could happen.
Remember that I was talking about that pizza parlor that's like right below the building I'm in? Well,
yeah.
That building. They closed like a while back, but now there's another restaurant opening. So.
Oh, okay.
Well,
hopefully it's good food is the only thing I could say.
I think from the name, from what I see from the name, it might be Italian. I don't know.
Okay. All right, so let's do this. We're going to take a look over here.
Pizza.
This is the poster for the poster they put out. Let me see if I can make it a little bit bigger. We'll scroll through it here. All right, here we go. All right. Yep. All right, so I've got some notes over here. Chat, please correct me if I'm wrong about any of this, because I don't mind being wrong. So this is the poster. As we can see, here's the whole poster. Doom with his mask off. Totally mask off, right?
Mask off. Fucking mask off.
All right, so there is a theory about this poster. Let me tell you the stuff that I've seen.
Oh, don't tell me people are reading too into the freaking tapestry way too much.
You think so?
No, I haven't heard any rumors, but it's like I hate doing this type of stuff because I got so burned with the freaking WandaVision.
Oh, yeah. We're not going to do that. I'm just going to talk about what I've seen online. So people are saying this is either Franklin and Sue, or it's going to be Cynthia Von Doom and Doom himself. So it's either his mother and him, or it is Franklin and Sue Richards. So they're saying that it's like a Madonna and child figure, obviously surrounded by halos and angels, probably because they were killed in an incursion, which makes it seem more like it could possibly be his mother was killed in an incursion, because you can see if that is his mother, if it's Cynthia Von Doom, she's a little bit lighter and looks like she might be I don't know, she's on the side with the angels on it and everything. So I don't know.
And then he's on the side with that weird griffin thing.
Yeah. Now, again, these are not my theories. These are what I've seen people say online. Now, the one thing you see in the corner in the left, it looks like it's Castle Doomstad, which is the his royal castle in Latveria. Let's see here. We got this globe in the middle, which is quite interesting. I was seeing people talking about it being a representation of Battleworld, or the concept that he's the ruler of everything, because the globe is central with the clouds around it, with you know, obviously all of these different symbols around the side of it. But it suggests that Victor views himself as not just a ruler of his country, but a divine savior destined to preserve and rebuild the multiverse. It says,
yeah, Doom is full of himself like that.
That is true. That is true. It says here on the lower left section, a figure standing with a staff scepter, very regally dressed, might actually be the showing off the authoritarian rule of Victor Von Doom himself. I don't know. It is a character wearing what looks to be like a hood and a mask, from what I can tell in the picture. Let's see if we can blow it up some more. Huh. I mean, it does look a little bit like Doom, but I don't know. It could just be the way the artwork looks. Some people were saying it's Doctor Strange. I mean, Doctor Strange in the story does assist Doom as like his main helper. Actually, spoiler alert for the story in the comics from the 2015 run. It was either going to be Doom or Strange as the rebuilder of the multiverse, and it just ended up being Doom. So, let's see here. I don't know what's going on the right side, though. I couldn't find anything about that. Okay, so here's what I was talking about Steve being the catalyst for all this. So people are saying that Doom's timeline / family is destroyed by the consequences of Steve staying in the past with Peggy Carter. For some reason, that fucks over Doom's world, his timeline. Let's see what else. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, I don't really have much else. I will say I love the cape, how it's draped on the stairs here. This entire poster is really fucking cool.
Yeah.
It's just a really, really cool poster. Let's see here. What else do we have? Yeah, let me do this here. All right, so with that being said, what do you think about the trailer and everything that the poster and all that? Or did you like it? Did you not like it? What are your overall thoughts on it?
Overall, I think it was cool. I'm like, I mean, I was always, excited for it, but this is, I mean, I want to get my work straight. I was always interested at first about Doomsday. Of course, I'm just interested in pretty much all just crazy comic book or fantasy, sci-fi stuff like that. But now, after the trailer and everything, now I'm actually a bit excited for it. At first, it was just interest. Now I'm actually pretty excited.
Okay. Let's see here. What do we got? Share this instead. All right, so now we have this is a really fun segment. There's an interview. It's like 1 minute and 10 seconds with Kevin Feige, but it covers so much stuff. But there's a lot to talk about here. Let's share the screen. So we're going to go through this. This is pretty crazy. Let me check. I think I just heard a super chat. So let me look and see. Actually, we have 2 super chats. Lone Wolf here at the $5 super chat says, loving to hear Thor speak. I fear Doom. I'm seeing speculation that it's Hydra Cap as a plot twist for Doom. Hydra Cap did trick Hammer in comic. So
Really? I was not aware of that. Huh.
Well, that's why I said I'm not going to rule it out 100%, because I do feel like they could go with that if they wanted to. It's like a combination of different stuff that's going on. But my question would be, this is probably going to be the last time we see Steve in a movie, like a Marvel movie like this, before a slight reboot happens. By the way, we might not even get the reboot that we're thinking about. In this interview, Kevin Feige talks about it a little bit. We might not get it. So it might not be the last time. Maybe they're bringing Steve back. Maybe we're going to have Steve Captain America and Sam Captain America and John Captain America and whoever else wants to be Captain America. Maybe we're going to have all of them.
Honestly, that would be an interesting movie for them to just have all three Captain Americas just like fighting something. I don't know.
I'm excited though. Look, a lot of people, when Darren was here, we talked about this in detail. It does suck that, we got Sam in a movie that wasn't the greatest movie. I think I've said it 1,000 times. I think the TV show was much better than the movie was. Falcon and Winter Soldier. It could have been tightened up. There's things you could have done with it. Yes, I'm not denying that, but I still feel like the movie wasn't as good as the TV show, in my opinion. I love Red Hulk too. I just think they fucked that shit up pretty badly, and it sucks. And they're like, well, we're bringing Steve back, so Sam's not going to get a lot of time as Cap or whatever. Based on that movie, I don't know how much time Sam would have had as Cap anyway, because the movie didn't do well. So, but I like Sam. I like Anthony Mackie in that role. So I want him to get more time. But look, the cool thing is we can actually get like a multiple Captain America movie, like a movie with several Captain Americas working together in the same film. That might be kind of cool. Yeah. Connor says with a $5 super chat, it will end up being his wife and son. That's another theory as well. What do you think is more likely? Wife and son, mother and son, Franklin and Sue? What do you think?
At this point, it could be anything, man. It's like I don't want to speculate on that. They just be like, oh,
because of WandaVision, right? You got burned by WandaVision. I understand.
Yeah, I was gonna be like, hey, look, just look and see what happens.
So, let's see here. Did we hit the goal already? I'll bring up the thingy yet. So yeah, we just hit the goal, or we hit it a minute ago, I guess. Thank you guys so much. So we're going to do one of the things. It's a special goal today, by the way. Let me do this. We're going to drop down this widget and we'll bring this one over. And we're actually going to put it up in the corner here. We got a special goal today. These are different. So since we hit one, we're definitely going to do one of these. You can pick 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat. Bonus daytime stream. So something in the afternoon I will do as a bonus stream. Audience picks topic stream. So essentially we start the stream and you guys tell us what to talk about. Audience call-in stream. Now this is one where I will set it up so you guys can either join on Discord or you can click the link and jump in here and we'll give audience members like 15 minutes in the chat with us. And you can ask us whatever you want to ask us. Shout out your channel, whatever you want to do. Or a fan film watch-along stream. And I've done these in the past where we'll pick like a fan film on YouTube, which is not claimed by any company or whatever, and we'll watch it. So you guys can vote on that since we hit one of our goals. We got here from Wayward Dawn Cody, a $5 super chat, says, there's a Spider-Man interview with all of them you should watch too. Can someone send me that, please?
I think I've seen clips of that.
There is a clip of Tom Holland that I have, but if there's a whole interview, we'll watch the whole interview. Where is it at? Is it on YouTube? And if it is, tell me what to type in to find it. I would love to watch that. Would love to watch that. Thank you, Cody. Lone Wolf with the $2 super chat. Thank you, Lone Wolf. Right side speculation is Tony snapping poster. Oh, the bottom right. Okay. Where everything gets dusted. Or Thanos gets dusted, I mean. Yeah. That's possible. I could see that. Gosh, I'm still curious to how Iron Man is going to play in all this. Are we going to see Iron Man at all, or is this really just going to be Iron Man is gone and everybody else is back?
Wait, what?
Like we have Robert Downey Jr. playing Doom. I wonder if we're going to get Iron Man. Like if Iron Man's going to be anywhere in this, like the actual Tony Stark Iron Man.
Oh yeah. Good.
All right, so this interview is, I said it's short, but there's a lot of things to stop and talk about. So let's go ahead and hear the first part of this.
How much time in therapy have you spent talking about Blade? This poor project. We just need to get this done, Kevin. How are you doing?
Therapy. Should we get into a therapy session?
Yeah, lie down. I mean, we all want it. Mahershala wants it. How are you feeling at this moment?
I'm feeling very excited that we got Wesley back for a time in Deadpool and Wolverine, and like a gigantic loser and failure that we didn't get off the ground with Mahershala.
All right, we're gonna stop it there. So, no Blade movie. Essentially, that's it. Didn't get it off the ground. How do you feel about that, Omega?
It's a waste. I mean, at least we got Sinners out of it.
True, but I think Mahershala would have been an incredible Blade.
Oh yeah, you've been great as Blade.
We got a comment here. Birdman says, by the way, the only reason I'm not on is that I'm currently playing Black Ops 2. I'm typing between deaths and rounds. Maybe next time. All right. Well, you're always welcome. I'd love to have you on for one of these conversations. He also says, I love everything I saw. A huge fan of Doom being that guy and using Stormbreaker Thor to prove it was perfect. Yeah, I agree. I agree with that. Yeah, so I've said it before, and I think it's probably, I guess I didn't explain it well enough. It's like, how hard is it to make a Blade movie? You said this too. We've said this before. I don't think I mean in the sense that you can just put anything out and it would be good. I mean, like, Blade as a character, if you take Blade at the core of who that character is, and you just build a world around that character, like, start out from the basics, the concepts of vampires in the MCU, how that functions, how Blade functions in the MCU. That kind of movie, and establishing that supernatural corner that Blade exists in, I think is an easy concept. Mm-hmm. That's what I mean when I say, how hard is it to make a Blade movie? I think the issue is, how hard is it to make a Blade movie in the MCU? I think that's the bigger problem. I think that they were having issues trying to figure out how to build that lore out that makes sense in the existing MCU. Is that a fair statement? Like, how do you build this vampire lore, this supernatural lore that doesn't connect to, like, Doctor Strange or Ghost Rider or anything like that? I think they might have felt that was probably too difficult to do. But my question is it too difficult to do?
I don't think. I just don't think they had a good script. They try to do something weird and different with it when it's like you don't have to, like, just make it so that Blade does cool shit. And I remember in the interview they were saying like they didn't want to just do that. Like, no, just do that. That's all you have to do.
I love that you just make Blade do cool shit is the answer.
It's Shakespeare, man. Like, that's all the first 3 Blade movies were. It was just him doing cool shit. Like, this, they're trying to do too much. Like, you don't have to.
I've said before, my favorite Blade movie is the second one, followed by the first one, and then by the third one. That's the order of, like, the way I like them. Yeah, so Sanju says, how would you explain vampires in the MCU timeline? Just people don't know about them.
Yeah,
they've existed and people don't know about them, right? I mean, we have aliens that were going undercover places. We were having, we're going to introduce mutants and stuff like that. I think there is a way to do it. I think the issue is also, by the way, I think this concept of Doomsday and Secret Wars and all of this coming up, to, in my opinion, slowed down any new projects that they might have wanted to do, because they know that everything is sort of kicking off again after this, and they would have to decide what they're going to keep. So I think that's kind of a problem too. But I don't think it would have been hard to do vampires. I actually think it would have been pretty easy, honestly, in my opinion.
It'd been really easy. Like I keep saying, this isn't Shakespeare. These are comic book movies.
Yeah. All right,
it ain't.
See where they go with the rest of this interview.
Is there a world where Secret Wars is 2 films?
Not this world.
No. Okay. Doomsday.
All right, so Secret Wars, not going to be Secret Wars 1, Secret Wars 2. It is just one movie. Are there people out there that thought it was going to be 2 films? I don't remember hearing that anywhere.
Blade was supposed to be 2 films?
No, Secret Wars.
Oh, Secret Wars. Oh. I can see that.
I mean, I guess I could too, but I don't know if there was anybody out there who truly believed that it was going to be 2 movies.
Yeah, I don't know.
That would be 3 Avengers movies connected together in 3 years. So like Doomsday, Secret Wars 1, Secret Wars 2. Like I feel like that's asking a lot. Honestly. Because both movies are going to be 3 hours long for sure. So, all right.
Doomsday sticking to its release date?
Yes.
Definitely.
Okay.
Okay. What does the MCU look like in a nutshell coming out of Secret Wars? Is it do you consider this a reboot?
No, but I look to the comics as I always do in terms of our storytelling, and after both the Secret Wars, but particularly the Hickman Secret Wars from 10 years ago, there's a nice
2015.
roadmap to where we can go.
Okay. So he doesn't say reboot. I want to be very clear here. He's being very particular about the way he words that, right? So after Secret Wars, we had certain things that happened that brought characters in from other worlds and took characters away that weren't working anymore. So what he's saying is we're not going to see, jumping back to like pre Iron Man 1, right? Pre the Hulk. We're not going to see that. But when people are thinking reboot, they're thinking like you're creating a new world and some of these characters are just staying in that world. Right? That's what they're doing. So to the casual audience member, it's not going to feel different in that way. But to us, the people that like, we know this shit, we understand that it is sort of like a soft reboot, reset, reestablishment of what the MCU is by taking things away that didn't work and keeping things that do and introducing things that we didn't have before. Because now we can just introduce mutants in. Guess what? Now after Secret Wars, mutants have just existed the whole time in the MCU. Because there's no point in introducing them. They could just rebuild the world as if the mutants were always there.
Yep. Because I was always wondering like exactly how would they competently put mutants into it, or I kind of just resigned to the fact that we're not getting them at all. But with Doomsday, it's nice now they having all these universe incursions happening and stuff. They can pretty much give them free reign to do whatever they want at this point.
The really interesting thing is we see that they're picking like the early Fox era X-Men, like the ones from the OG films, the first 3 films, right? Are we not going to see the second batch come in at all? Are they just, they're done? They're not coming back at all.
I wish I could elaborate on that. I have no friends.
Okay, by the way, just because I'm curious, since it's just me and you chatting about it, what did you think of the 2 sets of X-Men? Like if you had to pick which group you prefer, because I know that neither of them were ideal. Yeah, but if you had to pick which group you preferred, is there one you prefer over the other, or is it more like character by character?
I guess it's character by character. Like I prefer Patrick Stewart as Professor X. I could go either way with Ian McCline or Fassbender as Magneto, because Fassbender was really freaking good as Magneto, as a young Magneto. None of the Cyclops were good. I'm sorry, that actor, she tried with that bullshit they gave them all the actors they had, and they just relegated the leader of the X-Men to like a side character. Fuck you, Bryan Singer, I hate you. Storm, I didn't like either Storm. Sorry, I love
what? You didn't like Halle Berry?
Halle Berry is a great actress. I love Halle Berry. She shouldn't have been Storm. I'm sorry.
Okay.
But the guy who they had as the first Nightcrawler in X-Men 2 freaking nailed it right out in the park. But it's like,
what did you think of the second Nightcrawler?
He was kind of just there in some cases. Like, I don't know. It's like I barely remember because I've barely seen half of those movies. But even with Wolverine, Hugh Jackman is still too tall and too handsome to play Wolverine. But God damn it, he did a good job, so I can't really complain.
I've told people before, and I get a lot of flack for this, I was not a Hugh Jackman fan in general, even through his times with Marvel. Like, I don't even like individual Hugh Jackman movies, really. I just wasn't a Hugh Jackman fan. But after Deadpool and Wolverine, he won me over. Like, I was like, oh, okay, I see it now. I see it. But a lot of people say that was the most Wolverine he's been out of all the Wolverine things he's been in was Deadpool and Wolverine. So
Yeah, dude, those movies did give me PTSD because it's like you see your favorite comic book characters, and then you see X-Men '92, which was amazing. You love these characters, and then you see it on the big screen, you see it in the movies, and it's not the characters you read about.
Right.
It's like
I get it.
No, it's like you're reading about Dr. Martin Luther King, but then in his biopic, he's smoking crack. Like, come on. Well,
That's the craziest example I've ever heard, but we'll run with it. I will let you.
Hyperbole, but yeah,
I'll let you have that one. I'm not going to say anything else about it.
Yes, I'm being hyperbolic here, but still.
No. I get it. It was funny, but I've never heard that before. Here we go.
And last thing for you. How many X-Men have you cast that I just don't know about? Are people signed on right now for X-Men actors?
Not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
Okay. So that's really interesting. Because remember, Sadie Sink is supposed to be Jean Grey.
Yeah. I think she'd make a great Jean Grey.
But I'm saying, like, Kevin Feige here is saying that they haven't necessarily signed anybody on. So I think that's the end of it. Yeah, that was the end.
Oh yeah, so it's still here. So although I think she'd make a great Jean Grey though.
So when they say signed on, it's really interesting to me because what does that again, he was very specific in the way he answered stuff. So Thomas says, so you're saying you're not a huge fan? Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. Yeah.
No, not a big fan.
Well,
there we go.
Let's see here.
No, it's a meme. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, for sure. So that was pretty interesting. There is an interview here. Let me make sure I have everything that I want to look at. Yeah, I think that's it for that. But I did find the interview here. It's a 30-minute interview with the cast of Spider-Man Brand New Day. I guess we can give this a watch as well. Let's see here. I think this is the interview everybody's talking about. Yeah, this is pretty much the full cast and Kevin Feige. By the way, I want to remind everybody, I will be doing a stream on Sunday afternoon to talk specifically about stuff that comes out from Comic-Con. So just know that this upcoming Sunday, there will be an afternoon stream, probably around 4-ish Eastern time, where I'll be talking about all the news from Comic-Con. Let's give this interview a go.
I didn't have the script for a while, but I talked to Destin a bunch about the character, so I had a good idea of where things were going. Yeah, but it's quite the secret I've had to keep.
Can you say anything about just the challenge in general ways of the character? Oh my God. Hey guys, I'm Josh Horowitz, and welcome to the global press conference for Spider-Man Brand New Day.
Wait, wasn't this the guy we were just watching interviewing Kevin Feige? I feel like it's the same guy.
Yeah, I guess he does. Like
Josh. Yeah.
I've assembled, really for the first time, I think, since filming basically the entire principal cast of this amazing movie, the creatives, guys all around the world. I'm going to take your questions. I've got my questions, and we're going to finally pull the veil back a little bit on your super secret movie. Dustin, are you ready for this? Okay, I'm going to introduce this panel as if they need an introduction, but this is, of course, Destin Daniel Cretton, the director of Spider-Man Brand New Day. Hopefully you know this guy, Tom Holland, aka Peter Parker, Spider-Man. It's the Queen of Hollywood herself. It's Zendaya. It's the Crown Prince of Hollywood. It's Jacob Batalon, everybody. The producers behind it all, Kevin Feige, Amy Pascal. Joining the big screen Spider-Verse finally, Frank Castle himself, it is John Bernthal. And we don't even know her name, except we do know her name. It is Sadie Sink. She joins us.
So it's so crazy to see John Bernthal sitting with this panel. I do notice that Mark Ruffalo isn't here. So
because he'll probably say some shit, then
yeah, it's true.
He'll probably say some stuff, and then Kevin Feige will probably have to kill him on the spot.
Today, welcome, Sadie. All right, let's dive right in, guys. Let's do it. I haven't seen your movie. Very few people have seen your movie. Who here has seen this movie?
I've seen it.
Okay, impartial reviews. What can we say? Are you?
I'm not impartial. Fantastic.
5 stars.
5, 6.
Wow. Okay. What can we say? Just generally speaking, seeing the finished product, what
I think we can all agree that Destin nailed it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we
I
can.
think
I mean, he did a great job with Shang-Chi, so I'm not super
Oh, yeah,
surprised
Shang-Chi
that he did a
did
good
great.
job. I mean, especially they're introducing martial arts elements into this movie, which is something he's very familiar with. So super hyped for that.
Yeah, especially if he's good with martial arts, is like maybe the stunts with Spider-Man like beating people up will be much more believable. I don't know. Maybe they'll clean up the choreography and stuff.
I just like a lot of the camera angles we've seen in the
Oh, yeah.
trailers and stuff, where like the slowdown and stuff like that. I think it's all really cool. So I can't wait to see what
we are
happens.
so lucky to have Destin as the captain of our ship. You know, he came into this process when the movie was going in 100 different directions, and really what we needed was someone to come in and focus us all on one idea. And what's so amazing about Destin is that he's able to do that and focus on this idea of what is life like for a young person who is alone. And that is something that people deal with all across the world. It doesn't sacrifice the action. It doesn't sacrifice the scope and scale of the movie. So if we didn't have Destin, this movie wouldn't be half of what it is.
I think it's really interesting. It's like, fuck the old directors. Like everybody else that directed a Spider-Man movie, fuck y'all. Destin came in and he gets Spider-Man.
No, I don't think it's like that.
No, I'm being funny, but like I would take it like if I was the director of Spider-Man and I saw him in this,
Hey, wait,
like,
what the hell?
fuck my directed. Like, what the fuck did I do? Pack it up and get the fuck out of here.
For?
Don't you ever direct a fucking Spider-Man movie again.
there it is. Let's talk about the title of the film. Dustin, what does Brand New Day mean to you? What should it convey to the audience?
Brand New Day, I think, is something that Peter hasn't quite learned yet at the beginning of this movie. I think it represents something that he is deep inside hoping for. And you will see that in many ways, Peter's character and many of the other characters in this movie find that feeling of a brand new day and a new start over the journey of this film.
Obviously, this film comes after one of the many high points in the Spider-Man saga. I mean, No Way Home was a miracle of miracles. I think we can all agree. I mean, just the degree of difficulty, the way you guys. And I do want to talk to Kevin and Amy about this. Like coming off of that global phenomenon, talk to me a little bit about what the challenge and opportunity was. What were you looking to do, and how did you arrive at this man to be to steer the ship?
Oh, well,
Good question.
we put ourselves in a really difficult position at the end of that movie because those movies that we'd made before were all about people finding out who Spider-Man was that made his life.
Okay, very quickly, I'm going to run it back for a second, but this is one of the things that's bothered me about the Spider-Man storyline is how we, and you've heard me talk about it many times, how we got to the point where the magic works in this weird, like, don't ask too many questions about it because it's very complicated. I agree with her. They did put themselves in a difficult spot because now they have to deal with that as well as the fourth Spider-Man movie, right? They have to deal with that, the fourth Spider-Man movie, and leading into Doomsday, which is a pretty big fucking deal. And I know we have a TV show, we have Vision Quest, but it's pretty crazy.
End of that movie because those movies that we'd made before were all about people finding out who Spider-Man was that made his life a different kind of life than Spider-Man usually has. So what we decided to do is make it much more difficult and take him back to a place where nobody knew who he was, because that is always Spider-Man's dilemma. And it is, you can, after you make a movie about 3 Spider-Men, there could be a tendency to want to make a movie that is more gigantic.
Right.
And what we decided, especially because of the director that we had, was to make a movie that was smaller, and that was about somebody's personal life. And
I do think that's kind of the charm of Spider-Man. And we haven't really had that in the MCU, right? Because we met Spider-Man, went into Civil War. We kind of got that a little bit with Homecoming, a little bit with that first Spider-Man movie. But after that, it's pretty much been just big moments for Spider-Man. Even Far From Home dealt with big moments. He wasn't even in the United States for most of that movie. So it is really exciting, I think, to see Tom Holland's Peter Parker, Tom Holland's Spider-Man in New York City, dealing with New York City, dealing with problems in New York City, because it's something that we just haven't seen from the MCU.
Yeah, he was always like, except for like the first one, where he wasn't. Like, was he in New York, or was he just in the outskirts, like the suburbs?
For what, the Homecoming?
Yeah. No, I mean the first Tom Holland Spider-Man. He was just right.
Yeah, it was Homecoming. I think there was a situation where he was in school and stuff like that, but yeah, it wasn't a lot of like friendly neighborhood Spider-Man stuff, which is what I think I'm looking forward to with this movie, is more of that, more of like seeing him interact with New Yorkers. And, you know, Toby Spider-Man got that, Andrew Spider-Man got that. Tom Spider-Man really hasn't had that chance.
Yeah.
By the way, I just looked at my phone. Nobody's picked my fucking food up yet.
Oh shit.
So,
well, maybe if you tipped.
I always tip good. Anyway, and Homecoming, he did go to DC. That is true.
And that was about Peter, and that it all came from him. And we always try to do that with Spider-Man movies, but I think we succeeded really in this one to do that. And Destin was a gift that Kevin introduced us to, that we chased and chased and chased and begged and begged and begged. And then finally he said, hey, all right.
So Kevin, let's earmuffs, Destin, don't listen. But obviously killed it with Shang-Chi, but talk to me a little bit why he was the guy for you for this one.
I mean, he did such a great job on that film for us, and it was such a great experience. And when you find people like that, like many of the people here, we want to keep them. We want to work.
I also want to point out that a lot of the hate channels on YouTube love to attack Shang-Chi because it wasn't like a $1 billion movie.
Oh my God.
You know what I mean? Like they're like, oh, it didn't do that great. I've always said that when it comes to the Marvel movies, when you have an umbrella of films, you have the bigger films to lift up the films that don't make as much money, and they're usually there to serve a greater story. With Shang-Chi, we got a great introduction. It didn't knock the doors off of the box office, but it did come out at a weird time when people remember the whole COVID shit, the pandemic shit. So we had to deal with that. And I always say that, like, they're looking at the quality of the film, the directors, the actors, along with the box office. And this goes to show that that is, in fact, the way Kevin Feige views things, because he liked having Destin on for Shang-Chi and brought him over to do Spider-Man. So I think it's a really interesting perspective to see.
With them, we want to keep working with them. And we were doing that with Destin. He did a show for us called Wonder Man. That is an excellent show.
Awesome. Great fucking show.
And he was working on a couple other movies for us when this sort of opened up, and we realized maybe this would be the one. And I suggested Tom and Amy meet with him. And it went very, very, very well.
I want to talk a little bit about setup, a little bit about where we find the characters in this one. It's interesting for you, Tom, playing, you know, Peter and Spider-Man are in much different places at the start of it. Spider-Man's thriving, Peter not so much. Can you talk a little bit about where we find them at the outset of this film?
I think you really meet Peter Parker at the beginning of the darkest chapter of his life. You know, to me, the thing I love the most about the film is that it really represents.
Yeah, it looks like a Lego Spider-Man in the background. When it goes back to Kevin Feige, I'll look, but it does look like a Lego Spider-Man. It's really cool.
Or it's a cautionary tale for the dangers of living a life alone and not having a community, not having friends. And a lesson that he learned from Andrew's character in the previous movie is that, you know, sometimes the bravest thing that you can do is ask for help. And he is actively ignoring that advice. And it is having a profound effect on his life as a human being. But then on the other side of that, as Spider-Man, he is thriving. You know, we're probably seeing the most truthful version of what Spider-Man means to New York City at the beginning of this movie. And the smashing of those two worlds is such a fun thing for us to play with, you know, standing on the world stage and beaming and doing all of this amazing stuff to then coming home to a pretty...
Amazing, you say? Like an amazing Spider-Man?
The grubby New York apartment and, you know, nursing a headache to go to sleep, especially the scenes when we're watching them on Instagram.
Yeah.
It's just so true to what young people are going through on a daily basis. So for me, I really kind of dove into this new idea because it just felt so relatable, so prevalent with what's happening in the world. And I love telling a movie on this scale that is something that I really think will resonate with young people.
So I'm surprised that this interview, and maybe I'm too far behind on it right now, but a lot of the hate channels usually jump all over that. Like he mentions Instagram and he talks about how that relates to kids today and stuff like that. But to me, that's like, okay, it's just a comment about how he viewed the story that they were telling. Like, it doesn't mean that he's going to be on Instagram doing reels and dancing to like Megan Thee Stallion. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what that means, you know, but they would take it as that. They would say, well, this is modern times. So clearly it's Hollywood is leaning into the idea that we have to make movies for kids and stuff like that. All of that dumb shit. I don't take it as that though. I think it's just him talking about how he related to Peter in the movie, in the period of time they're in. Which I think is really interesting.
It's so interesting. Obviously, this core 3 relationship has been it's been so integral to the first 3 films, and obviously, you guys wrote yourselves into a really interesting corner, like coming into this one, because you guys, for Zendaya and Jacob, I'm just curious, like, does it feel like you're like almost rebuilding the relationship with Peter from the start? Obviously, you guys don't know who he is at the start of this film, so was that a unique kind of like going back to basics, deja vu moment for you, or what?
Yeah, I think unfortunately for Peter, you know, Ned and MJ live really great full lives without.
That's good.
That's true.
No complaints. We're good.
Yeah, but I think there's also like that sort of veil of they do feel like something's kind of missing. And I think, I guess like for Ned, really like the Spidey tracker thing is kind of like his way of finding like that missing link between them and Spider-Man. Like, why is he always trying to save their lives, for example? Like, is he like stalking us or like, does he really like his vibe? You know, like that's like the stuff for him. But I imagine for MJ, it's like a completely different sort of, just like a different.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like it was fun. We kind of describe it as like, you know, it's like a fun acting exercise. It's like, okay, do the scene, but now as if you've never met before, you know?
Yeah.
But it was fun to investigate and think about like what their lives have been like without Peter. Yeah. And also.
But what does that mean though? This is the thing that boggles my mind. This is the thing that bothers me about this. What does it mean, life without Peter? Like, I know they're supposed to forget him, but the thing is, he was present for so many things that happened with them. And we're not talking about rewriting reality, I guess. To some degree, I guess it is, but it's just sort of erasing him from moments. Like, what does their whole vacation look like in Far From Home with Mysterio? Like, what does that look like without Peter and Spider-Man being there? Like, I just, I don't know. It's so confusing to me. By the way, somebody asked who the woman is with Kevin Feige. It's Amy Pascal, who's associated with Sony.
Oh,
I think she's no longer, I think she left Sony a while ago, but I think she's there working with her own production company with Sony for the Spider-Man movies. I don't know for sure. So.
Because, you know, for us,
I think that's right.
He never existed, you know, but clearly there's an effect of Peter on our lives. The fact that we are even friends and still kind of living in New York together must mean something to them, you know? And I think that, you know, in previous films, MJ was always the pessimist, and it was Peter that was always the optimist. I
love her earrings, by the way. They're so cool. And who was it that pointed out the Mr. Negative outfit? Oh, Mayo Jufro. Yeah, it does look like Mr. Negative. Those earrings are really fucking cool.
Yeah, it does.
And so it's interesting to see that
MJ
reversal.
is Mr. Negative confirmed.
You know, now that he's alone, he's kind of adopted that negativity, and she's adopted.
Oh, she said negative.
Oh,
it's confirmed.
Shut up.
She's Mrs. Negative. She literally said negativity. Look, let's run it back. This is going to be a video for sure. She said negativity.
And so it's interesting.
I'm going to make a whole video about this.
That reversal. Yeah. You know, now that he's alone, he's kind of adopted that negativity, and she's adopted his positivity without even knowing
Mrs.
it.
Positive. So she's not Mrs. Negative. She's Mrs. Positive.
Something still there. I mean, we always root for them and hope, and you know, because Peter he's one of those characters you just love and you want them to make the right decisions. And I think to what you're saying, in the last film, he was cautioned. He was warned by the other Spider-Man men what could happen. And I think in many ways this film is grappling with those ideas and really confronting the things that they warned him about, you know. So I'm rooting for him, but
always.
not looking good.
No spoilers, but we do have some amazing additions to the cast. This is a long time coming. Look, the Punisher made his debut in a Spider-Man comic, and this is a combo we've been waiting to see for a long time. And it's all the more, I would imagine, impactful for you guys because John, you and Tom really are intrinsically linked in your origin stories and more.
I want to ask the chat, the people who are huge fans of the Punisher, are you upset that they're going to have to pull back some of the violence? Because we did have the Punisher special that just came out, which was super violent on Disney+. The Punisher TV show, which is super violent. I'm wondering if people care that they're going to have to pare back some of the violence on the Punisher in this movie. Like, I don't think I've asked that question before, but I am curious what the chat thinks about it. And Omega, like, how are you feeling about it?
Nah, I'm not. Mainly because, well, for one, some people may not know that Punisher was in Archie. He was in an Archie comic. Several, in fact. But it's like, I mean, he's guest starring in another movie. So, yeah, they're going to tone it down for that particular movie. So I don't think it's that serious.
Okay. Big Fieldy, what's up? Big Fieldy says, nope, not at all. Not every Punisher story needs to be a gore fest. There we go. Harrison says, I personally don't mind. Chris says, nope. Emperor says, no, Punisher comics acts different based on the comics he's in.
Yep.
Dalton says, hell no. Lobo says it's okay. Yeah, I mean, I think most people are okay with it.
Yeah, people are fine.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit, John, what it was like to finally mix it up in this way with your old buddy, Tom.
Oh, man. So grateful and really beautiful. I've said before that the best thing about this business, without a doubt, is the folks that you get to meet along the way. And he's Tom's top notch for me, and to have gotten to know him as a 17-year-old guy who was just on a mission to do this, and I had never seen.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw or not, Omega, but apparently they've been like industry buddies for a while. Like they've known each other for a while in the industry. Yeah, so that's kind of cool that he, pretty much got him on that path, and now here they are starring in this movie together, which is kind of cool.
The focus and the dedication and the belief, he went and he got this thing, and then to sort of root him on from afar and to see what's come of his life and what this unbelievable franchise and so many people adore him, and then to become this unbelievable man, and then to come back and step onto this set and to sort of see it fully realized, from some dinky room in Ireland where we were slopping together these audition tapes,
Yeah, that's the thing, is they did audition tapes together for the MCU, which I think is kind of funny.
Cool haircut.
Yeah. It's a miracle I got the job with that haircut.
That's how talented you were and are.
Yeah. I thought it looked good, to be honest.
Hey, man, I thought it looked good.
Got you the job.
But can we also talk about, like the fans have questioned, like, how is this even going to work? I mean, the Punisher is a decidedly adult character.
Absolutely.
Did you have questions? And from what I've seen, it clearly does work, but how does Frank Castle possibly fit into
Look,
this?
I'm enormously protective of Frank and the Punisher fans and what he stands for, and that was a real question for me, and it's such a testament to Destin and to Amy and to Kevin and to Tom and this entire group. It was a concern for them too, and I often think, in art, when you get to sort of the crux of an issue, if you dive into it, if you don't try to avoid it, if you don't try to run away from it, or if you treat the audience with the respect that they're also going to have an issue with it, you get something really great. And I'm so grateful to these guys that it was something that we explored, and it was as important to them as it was to me. And I think what we set out to do is to make it believable that the Punisher could walk out of one of those TVMA shows and onto this set, and vice versa. And I think you're going to get that while also just paying respect to this unbelievable tone of this film and what Destin did.
Another.
I also want to point out in the trailer, or at least one of the trailers we get, he gets ready to say fuck, and like Spider-Man like puts a webbing on his face or whatever. So I think little gags like that are funny. We talked about how Deadpool would exist too, because Deadpool also has a potty mouth. So Punisher and Deadpool are the two that I was the most worried about, to be honest.
Especially with Deadpool, because he breaks the fourth wall and all that. Because especially if he'll start saying like dropping F-bombs and everything. Having a complete like a sensor beep or like a sensor bar in front of his face would totally fit within him. And everybody's
100%.
What are you talking about? This dude's weird.
Yeah, 100%.
Combo we're all excited to see. It's been teased in trailers. Hulk and Spider-Man. Destin, Tom, I'd just love to hear a little bit about what it was like to kind of like pit those two together. It's, again, an iconic pairing in the comics, finally.
I mean, you put Tom Holland and Mark together in a scene, and it's it's explosive, it's wonderful, it gets surprisingly intimate. They're two top tier actors, and
they've worked together for years.
What I think I didn't fully realize is when you shoot the Hulk, you are shooting Mark and Tom in a scene. Right. So it was very easy for me to direct. They were able to improvise. They were able to bring life into every moment that they were in together. And it was, I mean, all they had to do was try to imagine that Mark was not in that ridiculous suit. But it was helpful because Tom was also in tights. So it's just two guys in tights.
Right. That's why Mark didn't show up today. He's traumatized still.
YouTube Noob says She-Hulk and Deadpool together would be crazy. Oh, yeah, that would be insane. The two of them in like a show or a movie together.
Yeah, I was
constantly.
So in what happened with She-Hulk, man. I actually rather enjoyed that show.
What did you say you were upset about? What happened with it, or
just what happened with the She-Hulk in general? It's like, oh man. But maybe because I guess because it ended because it was freaking expensive, but then all the backlash people say, "Oh, this is woke." Like, man, shut up. It's She-Hulk. What were you expecting?
I don't think the backlash had anything to do with it. I think it was just the money. Like they went way over budget on that show.
Yeah,
so
it's freaking expensive. But I hope she comes back as as a guest, like as a cameo or something.
Yeah, I can see that for sure.
It's a really peculiar experience because the moment you step outside the bubble and if there was a mirror on set and you could see what you were doing, it really requires full commitment. And I remember me standing on an apple box and Mark would be holding this gigantic Hulk hand and I'm pretending that it's choking me. And then he's doing the voice and he's so good at the voice. Right. And there were real moments where I was I just have to trust the process.
So wait a minute. He said he's really good at the voice. Hulk doesn't really talk unless he's Smart Hulk. So does he? Because Hulk doesn't say anything really. Regular Hulk doesn't talk very much.
Yeah.
I'm gonna run that back. He says he's really good at the voice. So are we gonna have Smart Hulk talking? Or does he mean the screaming Hulk, Hulk smash, that kind of voice? What does he mean?
I'm pretending.
You think what?
Hulk smash. I think it's that voice he's doing.
That it's choking me, and then he's doing the voice, and he's so good at the voice. Right. And there were real moments where I was I just have to trust the process. This is gonna be great.
Need that on a billboard in front of you. Trust the process.
Yeah.
Trust the process.
Destin's great. This is gonna be really cool. But I'm oh no!
Sadie, as I said before, welcome to this world. There must be a typo in the press notes. There's no character name in there. Weird.
Well, yeah, strange.
Strange, right?
Stranger things have happened.
There it is.
Oh, nice.
Winner of the press.
Oh God, that took me a second to. Yeah. Okay. Stranger things have happened. Got it. Okay, you got it.
I was sitting on that.
So, look, there's obviously been a ton of secrecy around your character. Talk to me a little bit about jumping into this world and how much were you? Did you get the full scope of this before you stepped on set? Did you have the script, the character, and everything, or?
I didn't have the script for a while, but I talked to Destin a bunch about the character, so I had a good idea of where things were going. Yeah, but it's quite the secret I've had to keep. But I'm such a fan of Spider-Man and these Tom Spider-Man especially, so it feels very surreal to be joining.
Can you say anything about just the challenge in general ways of the
No.
character? Oh my god! Oh my god! How about this? Let's.
She's good.
The NDA powers are strong, and she's sitting there with her bosses. Like the director's in front of her, and the producers are off to the side. She's not saying nothing.
You cannot say a goddamn thing.
She's not saying anything.
No child, easy. She's playing herself, basically. Is that the secret? It's Sadie Sink and Sadie Sink. Let's not put her on the spot. Can any of you?
What was that?
I say if she turns out to be Jean Grey, I'm going to explode.
I've already put the gauntlet down on this. I'm not going to judge the quality of the movie based on her being or not being Jean Grey. If she's Jean Grey in the movie and the movie's good, then I will still be okay with the movie or whatever. But I hate the idea of Jean Grey being introduced as a supporting character in a Spider-Man movie. And I also hate the idea of her being possibly a antagonist in the movie. I don't like either one of those ideas. That's my issue with it. Do I like Sadie Sink as Jean Grey? I think she'd be a good Jean Grey. She could, I mean, she's got red hair, so I guess that means she would be good in the role. But I like Sadie Sink anyway. So
Yeah, she's actor anyway. I like her in Stranger Things.
I think she'll be fine. So I don't really have an issue with that. It's more or less I just don't like the setup of this character being introduced in Spider-Man. That's just me.
I'll say
Yeah, exactly.
You'll be surprised. The thing that is true for her character and every other character in the movie is that they're all going through the same thing. They're all going through the sense of isolation and feeling different and feeling alienated and feeling in denial about the lives that they're living. And she's a magnificent actress, as everyone knows. And she, because of the way that Destin made the movie, for Frank, for her, for MJ, for Ned, for Banner, everyone's going through the same thing. They all have the same problem. And I think that was why it wasn't hard for her to step into it.
I don't know. That doesn't sound like Jean Grey. An isolationist?
Probably not. Yeah, probably not.
Right? That doesn't sound like Jean to me. Madeline Pryor, perhaps, maybe, but that would also be weird to introduce Madeline Pryor like this.
Yeah,
you know what I
before
mean?
Grey. Yeah, that'd be weird. But I was thinking maybe she's Gwen Stacy.
Maybe. I think it makes more sense for her to be a Spider-Man centric character than an X-Man. So I would believe that over almost any X-Man character. So
Kevin, I'm just curious. I mean, look, you lead Marvel, but first and foremost, you are a fanboy at heart. Watching this movie, seeing these combos we've talked about, is there anything in particular that truly delights you above all else that finally has been realized on this
There's a lot that's delightful in this movie, and you mentioned some of them before. I mean, we spent our first 3 MCU Spidey movies really focusing on the fact that...
On a pause there. That is a Lego Spider-Man. That's incredible. It's like life-size Lego Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's
I was
incredible.
thinking like you have like little Lego Spider-Man like from the video games, but no.
No. This is a big one.
Life-size replica of
Just your casual viewer says, but if she's not Jean Grey, then why do you need to keep her character under wraps? Marketing purposes, I guess.
No idea,
but this is why I kind of side with Omega with the whole WandaVision thing. I think a lot of times they do this because they want that controversy. They want people to try and figure out which character somebody is and where they fit in all this and everything.
Yeah, like when the guy who played in WandaVision, he played Quicksilver, and everyone's like, "Oh shit, it's Quicksilver is in this? Are we gonna get the X-Men in this?" No, it was just it was just a boner joke. That's all it was.
100%.
I was so pissed off at that.
Yeah. I don't know why people keep saying this. I've never denied that she could not be Jean Grey. Like, she could absolutely be Jean Grey. I've said that I don't want her to be Jean Grey. There's 2 different, like, this is a straw man. Like, I've never said that she's not going to be 100%. I've said it doesn't seem like it makes sense to me, that I don't like it, that I think it's a bad idea, but I could be wrong. I've never been like, I'm going to die on the hill that it's not Jean Grey. I've never said that.
He was in this shared universe because there had been 5 Spidey movies that couldn't explore that before. And one of the things that makes this a brand new day, as people I think know, is this really focused on Peter in New York. We even avoided him swinging through the canyons of New York
Forever.
in those early movies because it had been done quite a bit.
Right.
Now it's been 10 years since we've done it, so it's exciting again. And there've been great things in the video game.
By the way, I also want to point out that, and we talked about this a little bit the other day, that some of these characters have been introduced before. We know the Punisher, we know Hulk, we know who the Hand is. For a movie to focus on Peter, but then also introduce a huge character like Marvel Girl, like Jean Grey, to introduce that character into the MCU this way, it just feels a little silly to me. So
games that have upped the level of action that Destin has matched and surpassed. So that's very exciting. Mark Ruffalo, who's not here and who's great, you've already mentioned, that is a big geek moment to see Spidey and Hulk together, which is one of those many things I didn't dare dream would be possible. And then to speak about Sadie one more time, because she can't, it's a high bar. The three actors in front of me set a very high bar, and we try to always do that at Marvel, is have great casts. And when you bring somebody in, it has to be a very high bar. And I don't know that we've talked about this before, or if you guys remember, but we were discussing what character to bring in, what types of characters and villain agendas. And we were thinking, we had sort of this idea for a storyline, and we were thinking about various characters of who it could be. And the reason it's the character that people will see very, very soon is because of Sadie, is because our co-producer, Emily Fong, said, well, Sadie Sink could play this character, and Destin had worked with her. And within that moment, we went, oh yes, it should be her and it should be this character, which is why there was no audition process or anything. There were some phone calls.
All right, let me run that back. I want to listen to what they're saying specifically, because it doesn't seem to me like they're talking about Jean Grey, but I could be wrong. Let's hear what he has to say.
And the reason it's the character that people will see very, very soon is because of Sadie, is because our co-producer, Emily Fong, said, well, Sadie Sink could play this character, and Destin had worked with her. And within that moment, we went, oh yes, it should be her and it should be this character, which is why there was no audition process or anything. There were some phone calls and stuff.
Okay, so think about this. Would they cast Jean Grey with no audition process?
Absolutely not.
I feel like there's no way. I'm sorry. I can't imagine a world where they're like, this person is the only option for this major character that we're going to have moving forward, and no audition.
Yeah, for someone important as Jean Grey, absolutely not.
Yeah, I feel like no. I will say, if she ends up being Jean Grey, she better fucking nail it if she didn't audition.
Yeah.
Must be not.
Plus, like I said, she was great in Stranger Things. I don't think she would. Well, even still, I don't know. My mind's going like a mile a minute when it comes to this thing. So I don't know.
I will say this. You're going to have a camp of people who are super excited about her possibly being Jean Grey, and they're going to go in with the expectation that it's going to be Jean Grey. And then if it's not Jean Grey, hold on.
Are your food's there?
No, they
someone picked it up.
Yeah, I'm talking to the person now. So, but you have these people that have an expectation of it being Jean Grey. They're going to go to the movie. It's not going to be Jean Grey. They're going to be let down, even though there's been no concrete confirmation that she's Jean Grey. Like, we haven't seen her in the trailer as Jean Grey, right? So you're going to have the people that are going to feel that way the same way they did about WandaVision. And I think that's a bad place to be in. Then you're going to have the people like myself that don't really want her to be Jean Grey, that are going to go into the movie, and that's all that's in my head is, who is she going to be playing? And then maybe having to sit through the whole movie to find out if she is or isn't Jean Grey. I think it's a bad marketing idea to save until the movie.
Yeah,
right?
If that's the case, she better be someone super important.
Yeah, I mean, like, I feel as if they make it obvious right before the movie comes out. That's one thing, but if you save it until the movie drops, you're playing with fire. Yeah. Like, literally, because you're gonna have a group of people that are gonna either hate it or love it, and there's no middle lane on that. So
Nice. Must be nice.
Cut to Tom's audition tape again.
Yeah. I think I did 7 auditions.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds about right.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's why you're sitting in 2 different rows. No eye contact. There's a lot of bad blood here. But it is crazy also to think, to come like full circle. It's almost 10 years exactly to when you guys first stepped onto set for the first Spider-Man film in your iteration. I mean, Jacob, do you remember, like, what would you say to Jacob 10 years ago, stepping onto that set, knowing what you know now?
Honestly, I would say, well, the first thing was I came in so green. I had no idea how to work on a movie set. And, you know, every other day, Tom had to tell me to, like, move to the side a little because I was blocking the camera. And I still, honestly, I know Destin, I love him to death, but I know he knows that I was always missing my mark anyway. But I would say the first thing I'd say is like buckle up for sure.
Yeah.
And like just like the friendships that you make and like the relationships that you make and the people that you get to meet along the way is just like it's incredible, like an incredible journey.
Yeah. So Marlon here, this is the other thing. If she ends up being like Mary Wilson, like somebody that isn't even an important character at all, or we don't know from the comics or anything like that, it's going to be a negative on the film for the people that want her to be Jean Grey. For me, I'd be like, okay, cool. I'm glad she's not Jean Grey. But for the people that want her to be Jean Grey, they're going to be so angry if she ends up not being Jean Grey because they've hid this role for months now. So,
and it's like very beautiful to like really be part of this after 10 years. And, you know, when Sadie said that this was her favorite Spider-Man or Spider-Man movies, made me feel a little old. It was only 10 years. But it's just a beautiful, beautiful time. Like really, it's like just, it's so great to like, even meeting the fans who grew up with us. It's just like so beautiful. It really is a great time.
So needless to say, we have questions from around the world from journalists watching. We'll go to a few of them here. Rachel Leishman from Mary Sue wants to know, for anybody and everybody, Spidey and New York are synonymous. What's one thing you love most about the city itself? What jumps to mind?
I think the issue we need to remember, guys, is this is the current MC, right? Like this isn't the broken up, like people jumping through portals and different timelines movie. It's a grounded, as far as it can be, Spider-Man New York City movie. So the real weird thing would be to introduce Jean Grey as a mutant in the MCU prior to mutants being introduced from the Fox universe. That's my issue here. Like, I don't have a problem with Sadie Sink being Jean Grey. If she were Jean Grey in an X-Men movie, I'd be like, okay, fair enough. But that's not what we're doing here. We're talking about a Spider-Man movie on the current Marvel universe where the only real mutants we have are like pseudo mutants in the MCU. So unless they're going to introduce the element of another world type jumping thing happening here, this would be Jean Grey in the current 616 movie universe.
Yeah, the only mutant we really have in MCU technically is Namor.
Yes, but they haven't even really established that though. That's the problem.
Yeah, he just said, "Yeah, I was a mutant," which could mean anything, like because he has like sharp ears and
And by the way, Namor being a mutant or Ms. Marvel being a mutant is not the same as the mutants introduced in the X-Men comics.
Yeah.
Like that's a different thing altogether.
Yeah, it's like we have
right. Frodo Cop with the 199 super chat says, I have a theory and nobody has had similar either. Well, drop it then. What is your theory? Thank you for the super chat. D Monster says, Eric, why cast Sadie in Secret Wars? Because we don't know who she is.
Yeah,
why does she have to be Jean Grey to be in Secret Wars? You know what I mean? Like that's I don't know. That's such a weird thing. Like there are other characters in Secret Wars besides mutants. So why does she have to be Jean Grey to be in Secret Wars? I don't understand that connection. I don't get it. Sorry. Let's see here. Spider-Man was introduced in Captain America Civil War, but that's not the same thing. Spider-Man's not a mutant attached to an entirely different set of superheroes. I know it's really tough to swallow, but the X-Men, for the vast majority of them, are connected intrinsically. They are a group of characters that exist together for the most part. Spider-Man is not a team character. He is Spider-Man. Again, YouTube noob, there's been no explanation of what a mutant is in the MCU. We have no idea what that concept means because these are all characters that are adjacently mutants. Like either they were mutants later or they were mutants that were revealed to be mutants after the X-Men had been around for years. Let's see here. But why would, again though, why is that character Jean Grey? Explain to me why you think it's Jean Grey without using tricks of the trailers, because the trailers are all tricking us on stuff. So why is, in this story specifically, why are you so convinced that she is Jean Grey? And again, don't use trailer tricks to explain why. I am curious. If you could, you might be able to convince me. You might be able to convince me. I don't know. Emperor says, why are you refusing this so bad, though, about her being introduced in the biggest superhero movie? I don't want X-Men characters introduced in other movies before they're introduced or before they show up in a movie together. Is that a weird take? I want to see the core X-Men introduced as the X-Men in their own movie.
I think it'd be weird. I wouldn't, me personally, I wouldn't mind. I just think it'd be weird. Like, why Jean Grey of all?
I wouldn't like Storm introduced in Black Panther either. I grew up reading these characters introduced to me as a teen.
Wouldn't mind that, but that's just me. Like, I totally get where you're coming from. But it's like, if for me personally, if Storm was introduced in Black Panther, like, okay, fine, whatever.
Are you really, Sanju? Look, I'm gonna take this as a good faith comment. Are you really telling me that every Marvel trailer has given us exactly what we've seen in the movies, or have they tricked us before? Like, be serious here. Like, just honestly, be serious. Like, Marvel trailers have tricked us. There's been so many times the trailers have not been reflective of what we've gotten in the movies. Like, that, this cannot be an honest response. D-Monster says, Eric, give us names of who I don't know who she's playing. Like, that's the point. My point isn't flawed. I'm saying we don't know, which is, in fact, reality. We don't know who she's playing. I cannot, like, I'm not the one saying that she is Jean Grey. So the burden of proof falls on the people that are saying it is. You know what I mean? Like, that's the burden of proof falls on that. I'm saying we don't know who she is. People are saying she is Jean. So the burden of proof is on the people saying she's Jean to convince me that she's Jean.
Someone was detected at your front door.
Nope. I'll say one little tangent here. He was talking about Zendaya's earrings earlier. I have to say, her boots are freaking awesome looking.
Whose?
Zendaya.
Oh, Zendaya's? Yeah.
Yes. They're totally unrelated, but like, yeah, I was like, yeah, damn, those look freaking cool.
We do have a super chat. While I'm going to read this, I'm going to go grab my food because I feel like you could probably talk about this too as well, Omega.
God damn it.
She could be, look, a 1999 super chat from Photocop. Thank you so much. Incredible. I appreciate that. She could be Jean. Yes. I've never denied that she could be Jean. I've even said it multiple times here on stream tonight. She could be Rachel Gray. Yes. She could be Rachel Summers. She could be Hope Summers. She could be body hopping and Xavier's twin, Cassandra Nova. We saw her do that in Deadpool and Wolverine. Go ahead, Omega. Give your thoughts on that. I'm going to grab my food.
It's Hope Summers. That's a huge jump. I mean, yeah, I don't know about all that, but I mean, your guess is as good as anyone else's, I suppose. Oh, he left. But yeah, I'm like, if she, oh shit, if she's, I was like, I don't know who else she could be but Jean Grey. It's like, what other Marvel character could she be? Because I'm really struggling. Because I know some people earlier said, Morgan Stark, like, grown up.
Yeah, I mean, we could see her. She could be a character that we've never even met before. That's just a child of another important character? We don't know. We have no clue. But look, these are all good options. I would say that the ball is in the air for pretty much anything because we have no clue who she is. The only thing in my mind that ties her to Jean Grey is the color of her hair.
Yeah.
Because again, I don't trust the fucking trailers. I don't trust them. But these are great theories. Like, I agree.
Another thing that makes me think she might be Jean Grey, I'm like 40% sure this might be, is that Jean Grey is in the Wolverine game. I don't know. Maybe it's nothing. It might just be nothing, but who knows at this point.
You think there's some sort of synergy in the branding? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, it might be. Because just looking at X-Men 97 and being how they had Kang in the not this past episode, but the episode before this last one.
Right, before the Wolverine episode. Yeah,
and that probably was supposed to tie in with the whole Kang Dynasty thing. But animation takes forever, and those plans change pretty much on the fly. So I don't know. I hate speculating like this, but that's kind of the whole point. A lot of people just love speculating, but it's like we're just gonna have to wait and see.
We got a $4.99 super chat from Marlon. I think it's more likely she is not Jean Grey because it seems like they are trying to make us think it is Jean. That's what we were talking about with WandaVision.
Yeah.
Like Omega, you could probably rant forever about that because that's one of the reasons you don't like to speculate anyway. The whole Quicksilver thing was crazy. And then apparently Magneto was supposed to show up and Mephisto was going to be in it.
Yep. None of that happened.
I'd say the people. New York is probably one of the best cities in the world to just sit down and people watch. And for Spider-Man to be a part of that people, a part of that community is such an amazing thing. We had an amazing production designer, Charlie Wood, who I think did some of the best work that I've ever seen. We built 4 city blocks in Pinewood in London, and you would walk onto that set and you would forget where you were, and it gave Destin so much freedom to be able to bring New York to life in a way that you can really only do if you are here.
Right.
And we owe a lot to Charlie for doing such a fantastic job, but shooting on those streets and having moving cars and fantastic background and these beautiful sets, it just gave us all of the imagination and all of that culture and all of that texture that only New.
So I agree with that. I think that a lot of people complain about Marvel shooting in the volume, which is that round giant set where they just kind of project things behind them. And I think filming on location, or at least in a real place, always feels better than that, in my opinion. Do you agree with that?
I'm sorry, say that again?
Filming on location is always better than filming inside of those big round green screen sets or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, unless it's some crazy off the wall spaceship or some bullshit like that, then yeah, of course you're gonna have a green screen or something like that. But
yeah,
New York has to offer, and it really, really sings in the movie. New York is as big a character in this movie as any of us sat up here today.
I mean, yeah, as a born and bred New Yorker, I have that detector when I'm watching a movie. I'm like, they didn't sell it.
Right.
You guys nailed it. So
yeah, our first outing with all of our department heads, including Charlie Wood, was coming to New York City.
Yeah.
This is way before everyone showed up. And we just walked these streets together, took pictures. It was my first time meeting Charlie. And it's when you're doing that, you're able to see what these different artists notice about the city. And I was watching Brett, our DP, was there. I was seeing what does he take photos of? What interests them? The moment that I fully understood Charlie Wood was we lost him, and we were like, "Where's Charlie?" And we see him. He has ventured across the street, and he had his hand just rubbing the textures of brick on the wall. And he was just really analyzing this wall, and then he came back and explained to me why he loves brick so much.
Yeah.
You'll see it.
A lot of game developers do that. No, a lot of game developers do that, especially the people who did Assassin's Creed. They really go to those cities and and try to get pretty much get a 1-for-1. Like after games like Assassin's Creed, GTA, the Yakuza series, they pretty much is a 1-to-1 to the Kabukicho area in Japan. So yeah, that's not. I wouldn't say that's too far fetched.
Oh my god.
For people, especially trying to get the look and feel of a certain city.
You can say he's bricked up. Oh my god.
Wait, what?
Somebody said you could say he's bricked up. Frodo here with One Eye in Super Chat says, "What if she is the Fox Universe Scarlet Witch? Omega."
What the hell, man? Come on.
Well, they could even introduce her as this universe Scarlet Witch and just say she's been aged down. You know what I mean?
I don't know about that. That's a bit. If it happens, I'd be surprised, but I don't know. Like anything's possible at this point until we actually see the movie.
I mean, at least the Scarlet Witch has a history of like being good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that.
Brick is amazing.
I noticed that. This is the best brickwork I've ever seen in a movie.
I had such an amazing moment. My young brother Paddy worked on the art department in this movie, and before we started shooting on the backlot, we would go and rehearse there a lot. And I would see my brother, and he's working with the department. He was learning as you'd go, and you'd see him like pop a chewing gum, chew, 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 spit it on the ground, step on it, go another bit, chew, chewing gum. Then he had a scalpel, and he was like digging up the traffic lines and stuff like that. So the level of authenticity was fantastic.
Yeah. Love it. This is from Jonathan Sim at comingsoon.net for you, Destin. Were there any visual influences outside of superhero movies that shaped the look or tone of Brand New Day?
Very much. We were looking at a lot of movies shot in New York City for ways to try to create a really authentic look. We felt like after that first excursion that if we could capture the feeling that you get when you walk the streets of the city, then we would be in a sense capturing the heart of Spider-Man and Peter Parker.
Are the rest of these softball questions? I feel like these are softball questions.
I think the hardest question they really asked was like, okay, Sadie, who are you playing? And she couldn't answer. But it's like,
has anybody watched this till the end? If you have, are there any better questions, or have we pretty much exhausted all of the good questions before we continue? Because I feel like we've reached like, did you enjoy making the movie, or things like that? Chris says no proof of Jean Grey. Please move on. All right, the poll is back up on the screen because we're going to be wrapping it up in just a moment. I did see this. Sadie had a solo interview. She avoided the Jean Grey question. I did see one where somebody goes, say, for example, if you were to buy a pair of jeans that were gray.
My God.
How do you feel about that? And she gave like a very generic answer.
Yeah, what about your your genes? Like do you think you have an X gene? Not the XY gene, but like a weird X gene, Would you have that?
They said there's a solo Sadie interview. Is it this with the same people? Who is it with? If I can find it in the next few minutes, we'll check it out. But I feel like she's just going to avoid all of the Jean Grey questions.
Yeah, she's not going to answer any of them.
I'm just looking for the interview. Give me a second. I guess I'll let this play while I'm looking for the other one. Let me this here. Oh, it actually completely froze. So I guess we're not doing that. Hold on, let me try this out.
Froze?
the video. Like it just froze. Very weird. Very strange. Cameron with the $1 super chat. Thank you so much, Cameron. I think Cameron dropped some topics in Discord. Let me see what those are quickly. Let's see, Discord.
I just troll, not troll. I just lurk in Discord.
Do you troll or do you lurk? Which one is it?
I just lurk. Dude, I'm in so many Discords I don't talk in. The only ones I really talk in are like this one for one of my D&D groups, and that's pretty much it.
Let's see what you got, Cameron. What did Cameron drop in here? A live action film about Princess Tatiana from Princess and the Frog is in work at Disney. It will not be a remake. It's a new adaptation.
Oh, okay.
Coleman Domingo and Robert O'Hara will co-write the script. That's interesting.
As long as it's not like Moana, when it's like the exact same thing, but just in live action. It's like, oh, come on. You're Disney. You're better than this. Well, yeah, I'm a bit of a lurking troll.
Sorry, Tiana.
Yeah.
The thing I was reading said Tatiana. Call of Duty movie will take place in the Modern Warfare universe.
Gross.
Okay, explain why.
Look, I'm just not into Call of Duty at all. Look, I'm not a ball and gun gamer.
Yeah, but I heard Modern Warfare is like the universe that everybody hates, right?
Well, yeah. No, Modern Warfare is like one of the better ones.
Yeah, I don't play any first-person shooters or anything like that, so I don't know a lot about it. Just what I've seen online.
I play what the kids call nowadays boomer shooters, like Unreal and Doom and Quake. Although I hear Battlefield 6 is really freaking good. I used to play the shit out of Battlefield 2.
The teaser for the COD movies drop 2028 or something. Oh, I don't know about that.
I'd watch a
what else do we have here?
If they turn into like Australian horror movie, that might be interesting.
All right, so for DC at Comic-Con, Thursday is going to be Jim Lee and Friends. I think I looked at this already. Batman Cape Crusader Season 2 Advanced Screening Q&A. Friday is Lanterns, so we'll have some Lanterns news to talk about. My Adventure with Superman Season 3 panel, DC's Gotham City, DC's Next Level, and then Saturday is going to be Batman. So have that. Oh, yeah, Avatar Aang, The Last Airbender debuts at 91% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Of course, yeah.
It comes out next week, I think, right?
Weeks. Huh?
I think it comes out next week, right?
No, the 25th is Saturday, so yeah.
Oh, okay, so it's this week. All right, that's cool.
The end of the week.
We got a super chat from Frodo. 49 super chat. Anybody going to the Amazon preview of Brand New Day on the 29th? I couldn't get tickets. I tried to get tickets. I couldn't.
Was that in theaters?
No, it was like through Amazon Prime. There was a day where you could go click on a thing on the Prime website to get tickets for the advanced screening. I tried, but I couldn't get it. The question is, do you think that Brand New Day is going to be a $1 billion movie, Omega? Yes or no?
$1 billion? I don't know. Possibly, but I don't know. It's kind of like, I wouldn't be surprised if it was, but it's like something like that. I don't know if it would be or not.
Well, the track record of Spider-Man movies individually are $1 billion. Like that's where we are right now with Spider-Man.
Oh, yeah.
So I'd say it's more likely it's going to be $1 billion than it would not be $1 billion.
Yeah, if the other movies are trending towards $1 billion, because I just never really seen what those other movies, how much those other movies made. But yeah, if the other ones made $1 billion, yeah, this will probably make $1 billion too.
Let me check quickly. I want to look at the exact numbers. Let's see. So Homecoming ended up doing 187 worldwide. Far From Home did 1.1. Spider-Man No Way Home did 1.9. So we've been trending up with the Spider-Man movies.
Just make $1 billion easy.
Yes, I really enjoyed this week's episode of My Adventure with Superman.
I have not seen those. I need to watch those now that I got HBO.
It's really good. I mean, it's a completely different take on Superman. Completely different. This one was a little bit of a funnier episode, but I've been enjoying this season quite a lot.
Now, I don't know. Because I know on the other guys' stream, they really have. I don't know if they've really been talking about X-Men 97, but have you really talked about X-Men 97 in depth?
I haven't, but you can. If you want to talk about it, you can.
You people now know how I felt about the X-Men. You have got arguably a superior version of the X-Men in 97 compared to those bullshit Fox X-Men movies. The episode before the last one was the Apocalypse. You people now know how good the X-Men can be and how garbage those movies are. Be thankful.
Wait, you're saying that the TV show defeats the movies?
By leaps and bounds. That 40-minute episode where they had Apocalypse completely eclipses that freaking multi-million-dollar bullshit movie. Now, granted, I love Oscar Isaacs. Great actor. He carried that entire show on his back and still faltered. Oh, God, that Age of Apocalypse movie was garbage in comparison to an animated movie, an animated show that was only 40-some minutes.
Well, there we go. Omega has spoken. Yeah, I've been enjoying it a lot. I found this Sadie Sink video, and I was reading the transcript of it because it's only 5 minutes. She doesn't reveal anything. She talks about keeping the role secret. She's aware of widespread fan speculation, but she can't confirm or deny anything because of her NDA. She hears a new character every day. She talks about speaking with Destin Daniel Cretton about her character arc before full script in London, but that's it. That's all it is. She doesn't reveal anything else about it, so we're not going to watch that. I just don't see a point in that.
But yeah, the Master, bro. If you still like movies, hey, cool. I'm glad for you. It's just for someone who has grew up with and read those comics, it's like those aren't the characters I grew up with. Like I said before, it's just if you still like those movies, hey, look. The movies are still okay. I mean, if you just look at them as like a superhero movie and not as the X-Men, they're fine.
Casual Viewer says, I agree with you. Omega grew up with the movies after seeing the animated series in preparation for 97. The show is indeed leagues better than Fox's movies.
Yeah.
Well, the animated series appreciated the source material. Like it loved the source material.
Yeah, it pretty much adapted. It's never going to be 1-to-1, but it was close enough. And it's just those movies, they just kept Brian, especially with the first one, Brian Singer just did whatever the fuck he wanted.
D Monster says Logan carried those films.
Yeah, and even though I didn't like Logan, I didn't think it was a bad movie. It was just it's like how I feel with Final Fantasy IX. To me, Final Fantasy IX is a great game I didn't like. Logan is a great movie I didn't like.
All right, this is the last call for voting. If you have not voted in the poll, we did reach one of the goals tonight, which means we will be doing one of these.
Oh my God.
So make sure you vote on the one that you want to do.
Oh yeah, like Jackie becomes a horseman.
Please vote. This is like I'm gonna do a 4-minute warning. We'll stay live for another 4 minutes. All you have to do is type the number that corresponds with the option you want.
I would make you a horseman, for it would not lack of spine. Like, God damn.
So, Sanju, I've said this about a lot of properties. I kind of wish I was more of a casual fan for some things. Like, I'm a casual fan of Star Wars, which has made my enjoyment of Star Wars much, much higher because I don't have all of that pre-built-in lore from the expanded universe that makes me so angry with Star Wars changes something.
Sometimes I envy you, some of the casual like enjoyers of it. Like even with some of the like properties I'm just a casual fan of, like some of the DC stuff is like, oh yeah, that's cool. Yeah, that was cool. Like with Peacemaker, I was like, oh yeah, that was a fun movie. It was a fun show. It was funny. But then people like Phil and others are like, that show was bullshit because they know much more about the character.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh yeah.
So I have a rule. I established this before Supergirl. I established it for any movie that's adapting a story. I don't hold the movies or the TV shows up against the source material. And the reason why I don't do that when I'm critiquing that piece of media is because that piece of media should be able to stand on its own, whether it's good or bad. It needs to stand on its own. If the source material is better, that just means that that piece of media didn't do what it needed to do as an individual piece of media, right? That's the way I look at it.
Kind of like either with Harry Potter or Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Which movie? Because I actually read the book. The movie leads better than the book, and that's rare.
Well, I've always said the movies typically change things. Whatever it is that you change has to be something that makes it better or makes it different in a way that people enjoy. If your changes take away from the source material, it is actually going to hurt the movie or the TV show because those things are there for a reason.
Yeah, and for me, it doesn't have to be like a straight up 1-to-1. Like sometimes I'll say, "Oh no, it has to be one." I'm being hyperbolic, but some things you can do in a comic or a cartoon or a movie that you can't do in the other pieces of media.
Yeah, Chris here says Star Wars has never had a single thing I didn't like. That said, I haven't watched the holiday special. You won't like the holiday special. You won't.
That was
but
before
I don't. I don't think of that as in my mind as part of Star Wars. Sanju says, Eric, you love X-Men First Class and Future Past, and you are a comic reader. Well, because I see those things as different. Well, not so much Future Past. I think Future Past is the best of that era of movies, in my opinion. But I think First Class is the best movie, and it's before Jennifer became huge and took over the whole franchise. Because I like those lineup of characters. But that's because I'm not holding it to a standard from the comics. I'm looking at it as a separate story of those characters existing in that world. That's why it's different for me. But like if you look at something like Woman of Tomorrow, that is the Supergirl movie was adapted from that story. So people are going to go in with a preconceived notion about it. Unless you're a casual audience member that doesn't read everything, you're going to go in and you're just going to judge it based on what it is. And I actually think that's the reason why that movie underperformed on its head, because the casual audience didn't like whatever it is they were doing with that story. It's not that the story is bad. It's just that adaptation didn't do what it needed to do.
Hey, just answering just your casual viewer. Absolutely. Yeah, I think it will be Colossus. I'd be surprised if it wasn't. Oh yeah, especially with Magic, with who is his sister, then yeah, I'd be surprised if it wasn't Colossus.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. Of those first three Fox X-Men movie, X2 was actually the better of those movies.
Yeah, I hated the third one. The first one I'm kind of like, the third one I absolutely hated. Movies should be made for a casual audience. I think movies have to be made with the general audience in mind. Like I don't call them all casual audience. I would call them general audience in that case. Because there is no niche hobby that makes enough money alone to make a movie work. So you have to keep the general audience in mind.
Yeah, like especially even with D&D, like Dungeons and Dragons, like being like especially with Critical Role, that just jump started its like just boosted its popularity. But that D&D movie did terribly, even though it was amazing.
Oh, the one that came out a couple years ago?
Yeah, it was a great movie. It was just didn't do well.
We got one super chat here from Frodo Cop, $4.99 super chat. Thank you so much, Frodo Cop. The Fox cartoon did Cyclops just as bad as the Fox live action feature films.
Yeah,
it's Wolverine and the X-Men and not the other way around. But X-Men 97 has really reclaimed Cyclops in a lot of ways.
Oh yeah. Yeah, X-Men 92, yeah. I wouldn't say they did Cyclops dirty, but they did kind of make him kind of like a straight-laced Boy Scout. But in 97, they really gave him his props in this one.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for the super chat, Frodo. Hot take: the very first Fantastic Four movie is good, not perfect, but good. The sequel, however, has got. Oh, the only thing that makes the sequel good is Silver Surfer. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, the first Fantastic Four movie, I thought it was all right.
Harrison said, "I really enjoyed that D&D movie. Yeah, it was a good movie. Like it's better than that other. It's better than the other D&D movie we got years ago.
No,
yeah,
that was it. Was a 2001 with Marlon Wayans. Man, that movie pissed me off. So I was like, no, because spoilers for that movie, for that 2000 X-Men, that 2000s D&D movie. Marlon Wayans' character dies.
Yeah,
and the main character, he's sitting at his grave saying like, "Well, I'm about to be knighted now. I'm glad you could. I'm glad I won't forget your sacrifice to get me to where I am." I'm like, motherfucker, you rescued princess of a magical kingdom. They couldn't spare a freaking diamond for resurrection for your friend, or at the very least, give him a proper freaking burial. Give him a proper grave instead of those piles of rocks and with the one black rock on top of it with his name scribbled in it. Really, dude? Really? Your best friend who sacrificed his life to get you where the fuck you supposed to be? You couldn't give him an actual fucking gravestone instead of just a pile of fucking rocks? Really?
I want to give a shout out to Onith Desanaki, who has subscribed. I hope I pronounced that right. Thank you so much. We got a comment here from Roman, which says, everyone keeps downgrading the Avengers like Earth's Mightiest Heroes didn't happen. One of the greatest superhero cartoons of all times. I agree with this, especially a lot of the storylines they adapted from the comics. 100%. I agree with that.
I heard
it's on Disney Plus. I know you don't have it, but if you get Disney Plus, you can watch it there. Okay, it's worth watching.
I'll give it a shot.
Frodo Cop here with the $9.99 super chat. Thank you, Frodo. I have to ask, how many of you have seen the Wolverine unrated cut? I don't think I've seen the unrated version. The Wolverine unrated cut. Is that available for like VOD or is it on Disney Plus? Where can I watch that? If it's on Disney Plus, I'll watch it tonight. And I love that X-Men 97, love what X-Men 97 has done with Psych. Yes. Actually, in that first episode of the first season, I was like, oh, this is what they're going to do with Cyclops. Okay.
It's like,
I'm down
this
for that.
is the Cyclops I read about.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, like I said before, like in 92, they really didn't do him justice until just now.
My favorite X-Men character, Cyclops, got it. It brought my son into being a Cyclops fan as well. Yeah, I think Cyclops. Me too. Well, look, in the comics, he's had a weird history. They tried to create like the punch dimension thing with his eyes, and then they did the whole Phoenix Force thing with him. And there's been a lot of iterations of Cyclops over the years. But I think Cyclops at the core has proven to be a great team leader with his time as the X-Men, with the X-Men. And of course, we've had different teams. You go to the 90s, you get the breakup in teams and things like that. But yeah, X-Men, X-Force, he's a great team leader. So I agree with this. Thank you for the super chat. All right, so it looks like the votes have come in, and we are doing a bonus daytime stream. I will set that up soon. Thank you guys for all of your support. I do appreciate it. And I think we're going to wrap things up. We're coming up on the 2 hour and 45 minute mark. Yeah, I want to thank everybody for the super chats, hanging out and chatting with us. I appreciate everybody that's here. I have a new video coming out tomorrow on Reloaded. I have a new Debunks video coming out tomorrow, so definitely check that out. Frodo here says it's on Fandango and Movies Anywhere. All right. I will check it out. Sanju, that's going to be announced probably at Comic-Con. We're probably going to find out what's happening post Secret Wars at Comic-Con to some degree. We know it's X-Men related. Diamond Jim says, I watched all of X-Men 97 last week. It's great. Yeah, it's great. So glad you like it. Anyway, since you are the only guest tonight, Omega, where can they find you?
Yeah, you can find me right here. Warning, there may be some bare breasts there. I'm actually working on something now. If I can get it to freaking render, I'm just having technical issues with that. I got like the whole scene set up, but just when I hit render, it just doesn't work. But I'm working on that, so I am working on something to put up there. But yeah, you can find my artwork there. I'm also on same Omega Belts all on TikTok, Threads, on Blue Sky, so actually Omega Cosmos. You can find me there too. I am trying to. Yeah, it's some of it's not safe for work. I'm gonna be honest with you, but on TikTok, I'm trying to think of something else to do. You just gotta find that right crazy ass sound that makes something about it. It's usually on TikTok, it's going to be mostly about Dungeons and Dragons or tabletop RPGs and stuff. Because
I just had to scroll up.
All this, and there's like even more back there.
I had to scroll up. Jose said you didn't read my member chat. It didn't get starred, so let me scroll up and find it. Somehow it didn't start on my my side here. Oh, here it goes. Member for 17 months. Thank you so much, Jose. Would it be insane to watch Brand New Day twice in the same day back to back? Might do it. I don't think it's insane at all. I don't usually do it on the same day, but I will watch it usually in the same week. Like I'll go back and watch it in the same
when
week.
Dune came out, I saw that day one, and then I went the next day to see it again.
So you're going to be excited for December because you're getting Doomsday and Dune. In
Doomsday
the same
and
week,
Dune 3. Oh yeah, I'm all for this.
Yeah. All right, but that's pretty much it. You guys, thank you for hanging out. We may have a stream tomorrow. Depends on how much news comes out. But if we get some news tomorrow, enough to do a full stream, we will. Or if we get enough guests, we will do some of these games that we've been waiting on. Tonight, it would have been impossible. It's just me and Omega. And so we could have done it, but it would have went very quickly. And, you know, there's other people that want to participate. So that's why I didn't do another one tonight. But anyway.
What top game I was playing. So I was like, I almost didn't show up today. I was like, let me jump in.
Yeah. Well, it's cool. I'm glad you stopped in. But we might be live tomorrow. So you guys make sure you stop in, check out the videos tomorrow. I want to thank everybody for being here. All the super chats, all the memberships, all the member chats. You guys are incredible. Thanks everybody for hanging out and chatting with us. And because it's my stream and I can do what I want, I'm playing my intro.